So, I guess to start things off, we should, probably officially mention, so that it goes on the podcast, that we're running this session on January 18th, 2015. Session 0 of this campaign was run on January 19th, 2014. So this being basically the third Sunday of January, this is the 1-year anniversary of Fallout as Dragons.
Woo!
Happy birthday!
Woo! I'm feeling inclined to make a drinking game of it.
Maybe
We demand the chat gives us presents. Demand.
So
No, if you're gonna give presents and stuff, just give presents in the form of, like, I don't know, questions that ask Flotsam and fan art and shit like that.
And I don't know, yeah.
And
maybe we should produce another animated thing or something.
Or we can all stick around for half an hour and we'll answer whatever stupid questions you've got.
Yeah, maybe I can
don't
go
we do
back.
that anyway? But
Maybe eventually I'll go back and finish that animatic I started way back in like October or something and never finished because I got busy.
at any rate, let's toast with, whatever you've got at hand and let's get started.
Woo!
I'll write you some Razor Pillow fanfiction. That'll keep you happy.
No Razor Pillow fan fiction.
not
Let
gonna-
them write it themselves. They'll do it. You know they have.
that. Okay.
When I step around, I hear the sound, clip clopping up and down the street. The shuffling of hooves, it surely proves that I'll see you for the day's complete. What is this wonderful feeling in my head?
Hey everypony, DJ Smack Talk here. Got some good news finally. Now that it's confirmed and all, the Apocalypse conference went pretty explosively, but ultimately good for us. The old evil Famine leader is out, and the 4 horses have decided to stop being raiders and become smaller, less oppressive tribes. Now, if, only we could spread the word to those jerks that are taking the executives' caps. Speaking of which, that guy's not going to be happy, is he? Pretty much his only friends now are the cult of Tiamat, and the news from those guys has been getting steadily creepier by the day. My guess is things are about to get ugly in the Maw for a little while, but you know what they say, it gets worse before it gets better. In fashion news, it sounds like our favorite novice necromancer Zenkarn has acquired a set of bone armor. In case being a zebra with a cloak and a scythe wasn't loud enough, apparently. Anyway, that's this afternoon's update. Back to the music. But what's not included in Smack Talk's broadcast is that at the very end of last week's session, the AI that Javolt accidentally created to monitor was able to establish a connection to Flotsam's Pip-Buck. And Javolt basically took that aside when Monitor announced that because there was sort of a transfer of memory that kind of contributed to her creation in the first place, she had access to Javolt's memories in a data form, and she was working on repairing some of that. And she was ready to basically shed some light on Javolt's amnesiac past.
Javolt is basically, Javolt is currently not saying anything.
Which is a change for once. Zing. Sorry.
Well then, Monitor. Looks like you've done something that we can't ever do.
Well,
Get
Now,
the donkey to shut his mouth.
Javolt had stepped aside. He's not with the rest of the
Javolt
group
was in a
right
different
now.
room.
Sorry.
Never mind.
Could you, repeat that?
I made some repairs to the digital form of the memory you left with me, Javolt. So, I know what happened and where you came from.
Oh.
And
Really?
It's not pleasant news.
I wasn't some sort of mass murderer, was I?
No. But it's kind of tragic.
This is the Waste. Tragedy is pretty normal around here.
I've been getting that impression from, the Steel Ranger reports in my database. Actually, some of this information is I actually pulled together from some Steel Ranger reports that are related to this. So,
Ah,
on the screen of the Pitbuck, the little ASCII graphic of Monitor just kind of looks a little sad, and through the little speakers it says, "So, are you ready? Do you want to hear this?"
hold on a second. Let's see what I've got here. You can all still hear me, right?
Yeah.
I'm not cutting out, right?
No, you're not cutting out.
Okie doke.
You're loud and clear.
What's going on?
Oh, my computer is being buggy as I'll get out.
Why? Well, you're still perfectly clear on our end.
Yeah, I was just going to try to take a look at Javolt's mental stats before I responded.
Javal has mental stats?
You know, whatever it is, knowledge, arcana,
Yeah.
Yep.
persuasion, streetwise, whatever. Anyway, Javolt considers the question and says, how much of this do I not already know? And you're?
Well, let me think. What you should remember is that, well, you were living with your niece. There was an explosion. You put yourself together and then wandered around for a few days before arriving at another town, and that's where your basically modern memory begins.
Yes, I do recall that, yes.
The memories you don't have were about, well, where you lived and, well, what happened with the explosion.
Ah, yes. Well, I might as well learn how that happened. If that's alright with you.
Yes. Okay. So, where you lived for a good portion of your life was, the ruins of, the University of San Palomino in the San Palomino Desert. It was this remote university facility, that had been hit as hard as anything else by the war, but there was still a great deal of technology and knowledge left over. The databases were quite preserved. So you, your sister Raven, her daughter Jenny, and a number of others discovered and sort of settled that place to basically glean and protect that knowledge. The university was a place full of information on all kinds of advanced sciences, cybernetics, computing, communication, agriculture tech, weather control, and, so on and on. Your sister Raven sort of set up a kind of small government to help kind of run the town and protect it. The Society for the Protection of Advanced Sciences, or SPAS for short. This group eventually, drew more people to the town of all sorts of races to become sort of a makeshift center of learning and, knowledge. But there was trouble. You were sitting on basically a treasure trove of tech, and there was this mercenary band led by a Pegasus called Tumble that wanted to, threatening you, wanted to basically take over the town and loot everything for themselves. Your group protected the town in a number of ways, partly with a small army of robots serving as guards, and one pony using the weather manipulation tech to create a sort of sandstorm wall that obscured the town, making it almost impossible for the mercenaries to get through, and if they did, they would be met by, the robot forces. Then there was one night where your sister was off, checking around the town, so her daughter Jenny was staying with you, and you had been tasked with finding a sort of chemical solution to the mercenary problem, and you were wanting to take the extra time to find a way to deal with them non-lethally, rather than just, burning them alive with acid or whatever. But Jenny was coming over, so you locked away all the chemical components, in your lab. The memory is there. You played with, your niece for a while. Then at some point you lost track of her. It turned out she managed to get her way into the lab. She was very, very smart and very curious, Jenny, and she managed to pick the lock that was holding all the chemicals, and she started to basically run experiments of her own before you knew it. The last memory before the explosion was you running into the lab trying to stop her, and then there was the explosion. She kind of stops after this to let you sort of take that in.
I never knew it was her. I thought it was someone else who attacked us.
Well, the only memories you have after that are, of course, waking up, installing cybernetics into yourself, and basically stumbling out into the desert until you found civilization. But it turns out one of the other Steel Ranger bases, one of the Southwest bases, actually made expeditions into that area at one point. They encountered Tumble's mercenaries and took them down and interrogated them, so the other part of the story happens there. The explosion, unfortunately, Tumble, scouting out, took notice of that and saw that as an opportunity to make a sort of daring rush on the town, which, unfortunately, because of the chaos and commotion, ultimately proved successful. They raided the university, killed most of the people there, drove out the rest. I think you were left for dead, but they either destroyed or took most of the data and technology with them. Then the Steel Rangers came in. They dealt with Tumble's mercenaries. They went back to the university and tried to repair what they could and ended up cataloging the technology in their own vaults.
Was Jenny ever confirmed dead?
I don't know. You're from the interrogation records on Tumble and his gang. The house that was blown up, they didn't check that terribly thoroughly. They just, there was a lot of rubble and, well, only one assumed corpse found. The rest was just chemical spray and debris.
Oh. Would it be, Monitor, you know that I don't think of you as just a tool, and I do appreciate that you did this. But I would like to ask a favor, if that's possible.
Of course.
If you're connected to more Steel Ranger bases, do they keep track of any donkeys that pass through the regions?
The little ASCII graphic kind of shakes its head, and she says, the Steel Rangers are, especially that particular base that's close by, they're mainly concerned about tech. They're not nice like the Applejacks Rangers.
Oh.
But
Well,
I do have some news.
really?
They're, based on this base's intelligence reports, there is a female donkey kind of matching your sister Raven's description currently among the residents in Ribcage.
Really?
At least I think so.
Oh, yes.
That's Javolt, that's basically it.
Well,
That's
thank you,
That's where you
Monitor.
came from, that's what happened.
I do owe you a lot, Monitor.
Well, you saved my system and, well, made me possible. So, I think
Well,
but she just looks, the graphic still has a bit of a frown on her face. These were very painful memories to dig through. I'm sorry, Javal.
well, at least I know I am legitimately a doctor.
You did, she kind of smiles a little bit at that. You did, study through the materials at the university. You you did the coursework. I suppose you have earned that doctorate, even though you took it from the offices of the university. But you put the work in. It's as close to a Wasteland college education as you can get.
Well, now that that mystery has been solved, I suppose I should head back to the group and... Actually, I should probably introduce you to the rest of the Dragon Mawlers.
Oh, yes, I'd like to meet them, certainly. Although there's still no camera on this, so I'd only be able to hear their voices.
I'll see about adding a camera to the Pip-Buck at some point in the future.
Okay.
And so Javolt walks back to the rest of the group with the Pip-Buck and says, "Everyone, I have someone I would like you to meet."
Flotsam
What?
bounces up excitedly. Is it Monitor?
Yes, it's Monitor. How did you guess her name was Monitor? Right, you were there. I forgot.
Uh-huh.
Monitor, this is everyone. She can't see you through the Pip-Buck. She can only hear you. You should probably introduce yourselves.
Hello, Dragon Maulers Incorporated. The voice comes from the Pip-Buck, this sort of very synthetic young female voice.
Hi.
So wait,
Javolt,
which of y'all in the base is making the voice for the robot? No, I know. Javolt put you up to this? Who did that?
Flotsam, forgetting that Monitor can't see her, waves enthusiastically at the Pip-Buck and says, "Hi, I'm Flotsam. I blow stuff up."
Hi, I set things on fire. Oh, and I'm Firelight.
No, seriously, who's doing the robot voice?
Javolt, I assume this is the synthetic soul thing you're asking about.
Yes, it is.
Huh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
can
can
hear you.
hear.
I just
We're just
Monitor says
ignoring you.
Monitor says, while I presume the rest of you were staying at Slayer Base, Dr. Javolt, there was a virus in the Steel Ranger database that was...
The long and short of it is, I performed science, and Monitor happened.
You're a daddy.
No, I was more of a midwife, actually.
Oh.
The daddy
So
is,
what kind
what
of
was his
system
name?
what-
Smokey something or other.
Smoky Ward, but
Yes.
I don't think he'd like that comparison.
Then Monitor.
Oh,
What
God.
system? Did you always exist? How long have you existed for? Did you kind of have consciousness when Javolt came along, or did you get it recently? And sorry, I'm asking too many questions, aren't I?
When the coup against Slayer Base happened, one of the loyalist Steel Rangers uploaded a virus into the system to try and basically give control over to away from this Applejack's Rangers. But because of its the certain genetic algorithm, it sort of replicated and gave some of the processes a certain level of will. In order to stop that, Javolt basically used the VR machine to interface with the database, and
Like a video game?
which had some unexpected effects. And I was the monitoring program, that part of the operating system that basically tracked users, but Javolt had an effect on me.
Yeah, he does that.
Tibbs is going to look at the Pip-Buck and go, "I've performed surgeries that sounded less complicated than that. So,
Monarch
good job."
laughs to the Pip-Buck.
Well,
There was a lot of science.
This all still sounds just ridiculous.
well, I
Really?
really there's one thing that's consistent about Javolt is that there's a lot of complexity involved.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough.
Unrelated note, we're headed to Ribcage soon.
Well, yeah, we're going there anyway, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to see the cultists there.
Yes, the cultists, of course. That's why we're
So
headed
why do
there.
you want to go
Yes.
to Ribcage, Javolt?
See.
I'm
don't
going
think
to
you-
Ribcage because I am the manager of this group.
I think
Monitor-
you've just made it very clear that that is exactly not the reason.
Monitor puts on a bit of a frowny face and says, Javolt, I know you might not want me to say this, and you can say as much as you like later, but to the rest of the group, I helped restore some of Javolt's memory.
Blotsom's
No.
jaw.
So it's a past quest thing. That's cool.
Yay.
Wait.
Wait,
Javolt,
what's
she's
there for
something
Javolt and Ribcage?
Ribs! Lots of ribs. I'm missing many ribs. I'm missing like 3 ribs from my left side.
Javolt, it's
I'm pretty
okay.
sure I've got some spares if you want them.
Well, I was hoping to replace them with more dragon bone ribs, and, well, you've already used up a lot of dragon bone in that.
Javolt, they don't
Yeah, sorry
fit.
about that.
You could not come up with a dumber reason.
Look,
The point is,
honestly,
Javolt,
considering this party, if he doesn't want to tell us, I don't think he has to.
Yeah, it's fine.
He
We're going
doesn't.
through-
He just doesn't have to feed us bullshit either.
Great.
Anyway, we should probably pack up and head out pretty soon, huh?
That sounds like
Okay.
a great idea.
Hey, I didn't say everything up front, but I never said any lies.
I suppose that's
Why do I
fair.
get the feeling that he's
I
looking at Tibbs
apologize.
here?
It's just, I've been so into the,
Javolt, it's fine.
I've
You
been
don't have to
avoiding my
explain
past
anything
for
to
so
us if you
long,
don't have to.
I'm still getting used to the idea of seeking it out.
Lots of
It's
kind of-
okay.
Or have I been seeking out my past so... My past has been hard to grasp for so long. Even though
It's
I'm seeking it out, now that I have it in my grasp, I'm not sure what to... You know what? Let's just go.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Javolt, it's okay. If you don't want to tell us, that's fine. We'll figure it out eventually.
Don't worry,
Lots of-
knowing us, we'll just find out.
We'll just find out in Ribcage when you run into whatever it is, and we have a whole funny situation going on. Probably comical.
Hey,
and
that
Bolt
was
is
maybe
going
worth
to,
a few laughs.
look at the party
Awesome.
very carefully, look at each individual member,
Feel screwed.
Okay,
and then he stops on Tibbs.
judge,
He says-
judging.
You will not do what I am thinking you will probably do. I was going to stop on these other 2, he points at Firelight and Tempered Steel, but you're the one that's the most dangerous, so you will not.
Morelia
Wait,
just
will
kind of
not what?
shakes her head and says, "No one knows what you're talking about, Javolt." Again,
Yep,
Just
you're
trust
very
me.
specific, Javolt, as usual.
Well, I know that
Raise a
Zen
hook,
Garnet,
cross his heart, and go, I solemnly swear I am up to no good.
Does that mean the rest of us are allowed to do things? Or
Flotsam
It's
is
a,
going
it's a Harry
to-
Potter reference.
no?
Sure is.
No. Okay.
Flotsam is floating in the air between Javolt and the others and kind of looking at him very earnestly. And she will float over to him and go, Javolt, we'll make sure everything's okay. I'll keep these guys in line. And she kind of gives him a grin and then hugs him.
Ah, yes.
So who's
Of
going to keep
course.
you in line, little Sheila?
Flotsam.
Me, probably.
You keeping someone in line, Zencon?
He did a pretty good job with Famine.
True.
Although,
Come on
to
now.
be fair, that
Let-
spine is a little misaligned. There's a little scoliosis there.
Yeah, we can fix it when we get to Ribcage. I'm still kind of getting used to it.
Flotsam heads into the tent to put on her armor.
Mm-hmm.
Monitor on the pit buck says, "If that's all, then I will return to my duties at Slayer Base. Just use the monitor frequency whenever you want to talk to me." And
All right, then.
Very well. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Monitor, and I hope your day goes well.
Oh, and if we ever need any information out of Javolt, we'll contact you.
Javolt.
I won't betray his trust, but I'll do what I can to help. And then the pit buck kind of flashes and spazzes out for a bit before returning to the normal radio screen.
I swear I am gonna figure out who you are collaborating with on this. I don't know who it is down at Slayer Base who's pretending to be the robot and AI thing, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay. Is it so difficult to comprehend that life was created?
Well, no, it's not difficult to comprehend. It's not possible. So,
Look,
There's
Javolt fucked
Well,
up an
like,
AI. That's
Javolt.
really all you want to know. And it's not like we haven't seen AIs before running around the
Okay,
place.
to be completely fair, I didn't do that much. Most of it was Monitor doing it to herself, which is actually
Yes,
a
but this
worse
is easier
mental
to
image.
explain
Okay,
how-
fine, I did it all.
To be
Well,
fair,
let's be honest.
to be fair, a lot of it was you just kind of lingering around, which caused changes in her. And
Yeah.
So you had a very significant, if not active, definitely passive effect.
But none of these guys know this, so
No, I'm just clarifying it.
yeah.
DM's sake. Anyway.
If it makes you feel about it, Powder Keg, just think of it this way: magic.
Magic.
Yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see the proof. Right now, I see a voice on the other end of,
Okay, what are you going to define as proof of a fully sapient AI?
Okay, we don't sapient, but we don't need it right now.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's just focus on getting to Ribcage right now.
Well, if you think about it, Javolt himself is kind of an impossibility, all things considered. So,
How am I impossible?
And look at that, we're packing.
Flotsam, got your armor?
Flotsam
All right,
reappears.
then, let's get
I'm
out.
ready. Are you guys still arguing?
yes.
Nope. Let's go.
Igor, are you ready in there? No.
Okay.
What?
Chica,
What's the problem?
Oh
I
God.
lost my makeup.
Oh God.
moving on from that,
No.
Chica gathers up her meager belongings, and Aurelia packs away her plasma caster as well, and they get ready to go.
I think
get my
Igor's
shit and
being
get out.
sarcastic there, actually.
Let's get
She
moving.
doesn't have. Did you buy makeup while we were here?
No.
Igor floats out silently.
Okay,
What's worse?
DM says you're in Apocalypse. I literally don't know who could possibly be selling that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I could see one of the Famine raiders doing it and selling camouflage makeup.
Yeah. And there's
Okay.
there's plenty of body paint to go around.
It doesn't matter. Let's get going.
Yeah, I'm done with this tangent.
Bad joke is
Let's-
bad joke.
Let's
I
just
liked
go.
it.
Can we just go? Let's go.
Flotsam.
Let's.
Okay.
We'll drop by Blinky before we go to Ribcage. I mean, Skyfall before we go to Ribcage.
I thought she was
no.
going to Ribcage.
No,
Blinky is
Blinky's in
actually
Ribcage. We're just going to Ribcage.
moving
Oh,
on.
oh, she's a right. I completely forgot about that. What with all this famine nonsense?
Hey, I liked
So-
it.
Raggy on her head.
Okay. So y'all pack up and get ready to go?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No need to roleplay it, but Flotsam takes Craggy and says goodbye to Locust. She specifically.
Actually, as you're all packing up and getting ready to move out as a group, 4 ponies approach you. Each one of the 4 horses.
Do we specifically recognize any of them?
Well, it's Death
We-
and,
Oh, it's
Conquest
the
and Pestilence and, well, Locust.
Locust and Death and Conquest and Pestilence. Hello.
Greetings,
Howdy.
No.
fellow ex-raiders.
Nod to death,
Morning.
wave to
Just
the rest of
gonna
them.
nod.
Conquest steps forward and reaches out a hoof to shake with Powder Keg. And he says, "Thank you for, well, everything you've done the past few days."
Powder Keg shakes his hoof. Thank you. Think working together we've managed to make the Maw a significantly safer place. And now we're all off to go make it even safer.
Death he just kind of shrugs and says, "Well, there's the upcoming war to worry about. That's not going to make things safe for a while, but, what can you do?"
Kill the executive. Flotsam nods. We're going to work on that.
That's the goal.
Death chuckles. We'll be here organizing our troops for a while, so
Well,
you'll be the advanced group for a little while, but we'll catch up.
Well, a big thank you to all 4 of you and all your raiders that are sticking with you for putting this brutal raider path behind you.
Pestilence nods and says, "I'm also glad that, despite a history of atrocities, we could manage to put aside our differences."
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He kind of looks at Tibbs and then at Powder Keg, kind of meaningfully.
I'm glad
Well-
that you forgive us for what we did. I mean, if you have, look past it.
Looking
I'm gonna
past
stop
it
her.
is a good term for it.
Flotsam
Well,
nods.
Given some of our histories, it'd be kind of,
I
hypocritical.
think I said something once on this very topic. I said something like, "Forgiveness is given freely, but atonement must be earned." Didn't I say that once?
You
No,
did.
No.
Yeah, actually, I
yeah,
think he did.
Oh,
He
damn.
did.
Very,
Yep.
very well said.
I
It
never
was a
say
while
that.
ago.
I think it was over something
Tibbs-
Powder did, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you said it.
Tibbs is just going to shrug and then drop a stack of paper in front of Pestilence and say, "You know how to keep in touch. Maybe if you're lucky, one of your new lackeys will be able to figure out how I made this."
Pestilence actually kind of gets a serious look on his face. He's like, "Oh, right, I need to. Well, I know enough about it. I can teach."
Hey, if we come across any of the raiders that defected to the executive and they are interested in, well, defecting back, should we send them your way?
Locust kind of looks to. They kind of have a meaningful look amongst themselves, and then Locust says, "We may need all the help we can get, so you can send them back, but they'll be scrutinized heavily
Oh,
if
yeah.
they try to rejoin us, because last thing we need are spies."
Lots of nods and tries not to look at Tibbs.
And Locust just kind of shrugs and says, "But I imagine that as long as working for the executive is more profitable than, working for us, we're not going to see a whole lot of them come back.
Lots of nods, sadly.
But we may get points for honorability, so."
Yeah, the executive certainly doesn't honor much.
Oh, Locust, Craggy wanted to say goodbye, and Botsam awkwardly holds out, Craggy, and gets him to wave.
Locust pets Craggy on the head, and Craggy Craggy coos.
He thinks that you're going to be a really, really good leader, and you too, Conquest, and he's proud of you. Yeah, that's all.
Locust smiles and says, "He's starting to get pretty big."
He doesn't fit in my saddlebags anymore. But that's
Yeah.
okay. He can ride on my head.
Soon you will be able to ride him into battle.
Conquest takes a step back and says, "Well, I guess this is goodbye for now."
For now, yeah.
For now.
Yeah,
More than likely, we'll all have to assemble in some dramatic battle against the executive or the last dragon or something. But, that's a whiles off.
All theatrical and such.
Indeed.
So, yeah, to summarize, for now.
For now. The four horses, give you a little gesture of farewell, bow, or curse you in Locust's case or whatever, and they go their separate ways back to their tents to speak to their tribe's ponies now. Aurelia just kind of looks around and says, "We spent quite a bit of time here.
Yep.
Longer than I expected to be hanging around a raider camp."
Yeah.
It turned out better than I expected.
Yeah, all things told, turned out a lot better.
I make
Nice little
friends.
summer home, really.
No,
I wouldn't go
no
that
horrible explosions and stuff. No tents on fire. Seems pretty good.
I helped
Right.
free an entire civilization.
And then Tempered Steel will hold his hammer out in front of him in sort of a charging motion, and we'll start walking off in the direction they need to go.
You know, it'd be really
Yeah.
great. Just saying, as we, I follow Steel. If we can go to Ribcage and nobody dies, because I don't think we've managed to go into a town without killing someone yet.
Well,
Tibbs
Technically,
is going to laugh at this. Tibbs is going
Actually-
to start laughing.
To be fair, who did die here? Because
And
Famine
Famine?
kind of alive. Kinda.
No, we killed him. He was dead for at least a little bit.
Touche.
he was
Technically,
dead
he's
for
still-
at least a minute or so before torture. Endless torture.
Technically, he is still dead.
Well, now he's more undead.
So what
What
did we have?
is
We
the
had-
difference between life and undeath and death? I'm still not entirely clear on that.
Oh man, that's a hell of a philosophical
That's the
question.
subject of much study in Zenkarn's profession.
I'm still
Mm,
learning.
Also, I just realized he didn't kill anyone in Flame Tongue. I don't think.
You killed a bunch of the
Raiders.
Oh, that's right, yeah,
in the
that's
bar.
right, we
You blew up
killed
a
them.
bar to
Mhm.
kill them.
I blew up a bar in Flame Tongue.
That poor bar. We really should go pay them back for that at some point.
Ah,
At some point.
Sometime.
they'll send us the bill.
At this point, I'm sure we can probably just walk up and ask nicely, and they'll just wave it for us.
No, I want to wait until we get the gunsmith curse good and gone.
Heck,
What,
they
so they
probably
could
think we're
shoot
just
us?
dead by now.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Well, wouldn't word have spread to there at some point? It doesn't matter.
We're mostly heroes in the maw. I don't know how big that goes beyond. I guess they
Well, I
might
mean-
be close enough to hear wind of it.
It wouldn't
Tibbs
surprise
is
me
going
if they
to-
got something.
Tibbs is going to raise an eyebrow and go, you do remember that we sent another group of ponies in our name through Flame Tongue, right?
Well, I'm gonna guess... Wait, did we tell them not to say who they were associated with when we sent them through there?
No.
We may have, but
Um.
it probably didn't stick if we did.
Oh, wait, hey, they wouldn't even know what the Dragon Maul is, actually. Doesn't even matter.
That is fair.
Anyway, as you're kind of marching out of town, word seems to spread through the camp, and at the sort of northern path out of the camp, there is a somewhat small but significant group of the tribe's ponies that are kind of waiting for you. Mostly Pestilence, but a few representatives of the others as well. Quite a few Famine as well. And the Pestilence ponies seem to be focusing on Tibbs as they kind of salute as they pass by, and the rest just kind of waving or, offering encouraging words or whatever as you march on out.
Lots and waves back.
There's also
Tibbs is going to salute.
the kids that Flotsam made friends with earlier also come out and
What about what? I can't remember his name.
Guts?
Yes, Guts.
Guts actually is in the way furthest part away from the crowd, just not really moving, just kind of staring at you as you walk out.
Tempered Steel will point at him with his hammer and then give us an offhanded, light salute to him
Guts just
as they pass by.
rolls his eyes and starts walking away.
He's gonna hate us forever.
Flotsam kind of watches after Guts kind of sadly, but then waves really hard at her friends, really excitedly.
Oh, I'm sure he'll come around once he finds, a reason to be happy to be alive.
Remind me why we left him alive again.
Because we
Because
promised.
somebody didn't like me going on a killing rampage over something.
Because we promised. Jeez.
Alright. We really need to stop making promises like that.
Aurelia just kind of chuckles
Tibbs
and
is-
says, I think you've grown past that.
Tibbs is going to salute to the Pestilence ponies who are saluting him and then yell at the top of his lungs, "Now fuck off! You're busy and so are we!"
Now, fuck off what?
You're busy and so are we.
Oh, good old Tibbs.
Yep,
So
nice to
there's laughter
So
in the crowd
polite.
as the ponies start to disperse.
So kind. So thoughtful, Tibbs.
Oh, sorry, I muted. I'm saying that Javolt is waving grandly at the Famine ponies.
Are you doing the royal wave by rotating your claw?
Yes!
Yeah, and stuff like
Dude.
that. That is why there's no chance of Powder and Tibbs ever being on good terms.
Does anyone even notice Javolt wave? Do the Famine ponies even know that Javolt was the guy who...
They know, but they're not gonna idolize you for it. I'm sorry.
They're some of them might even be resentful that it was you who did it.
No, but they're like I said before, they're really more happy to be free, but just kind of, they've been in mental captivity for a good long time. They're really just more shell-shocked than anything.
Right. Okay,
Too much
so in that case, when they get to the edge of the crowd, Javolt turns back and says, "Your life is yours! Make of it what you will!"
As the crowd continues to disperse and the rest of the group keeps walking forward.
Flotsam keeps turning around and waving at the foals again.
The foals keep on waving as long as you remain in sight until you pass over the next hill.
And then Flotsam looks a bit sad and starts to walk next to Zenkar and kind of subdued.
I guess
Pat
Javolt's
Flotsam.
caught up with the group by now.
As soon as we're out of sight, I do what I did on the way in, and I raise any dead I can to form a sort of walking scout party.
Yeah, over the next few minutes, just raise a group of zombies to kind of serve as a bit of a buffer.
This is like we did when we went towards Apocalypse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Tempered Steel will once again walk on the outside of that barrier.
Aurelia
I'll
rolls
stop
her
and-
eyes and says,
I'll
Steel,
stop and sit down.
Steel, come on, come join us in the circle of zombies.
Yes, inside the circle of undead zombies.
The
Nothing
smell's
bad
not
happened
so
last
bad
time.
after a while.
No,
Well,
it's
some
not.
is-
A while.
It's
I'm-
not the smell I have a problem with.
So it's me you have a problem with then.
No, it's the zombies.
Well,
Zombies are awesome. My friend
What's-
wants to make them.
What's your problem, Steel? That's my question. And I turn around from where I'm sitting and to look at him when I ask.
Some people just have an irrational phobia of the undead, Zenkard. It's not something he can control. Don't take it personally.
I'm confused. Would you like? And I just look at him like, so what? You'd prefer to be shot?
Irrational. Irrational fear of the undead. You can't control
That's
it.
true.
Yeah, I'm not sure having an uneasiness towards, zombies is necessarily an irrational thing.
It is when they're mine and they're not trying to kill you.
By irrational, I mean founded in instinct and subconsciousness, not founded on your conscious mind. Because there is actually a well-documented
Wait,
phenomenon
did Zenkar do the
regarding
whole throne of
zombies
bones
and
thing?
irrational phobia. I think it's
So,
something
do we
known
really
as
have to
the
discuss
uncanny
the inner
valley
workings
effect.
of Tempered Steel's mind, or can we just keep walking? Because I'd like to keep walking, if that's alright with everybody.
Aurelia just kind of shrugs and says, Alright, I'm just kind of annoyed at this point with, Tempered Steel being,
A complete bitch to like half the people in this body.
It's
boneheadedly
only,
distant.
it's only.
You've got trust issues, Tempered Steel, Aurelia shouts out.
Don't we all?
I like the term livingness. Right,
okay.
but yeah, I'll get up and keep walking and I'll be like, don't like zombies, don't like drugs, don't like fun.
Oh.
That last
Ow.
part is not true.
Really?
Zombies are fun.
Did you say zombies or bombies?
Both.
Oh wait, why does it matter?
Those are both pretty fun. I like bombs. Bombs on zombies. It's fun.
See, I would prefer, well, I mean, they're useful, but I prefer mechanical arts and crafts.
Teamwork.
Arts and crafts?
Yeah, but here's the thing. A corpse is disposable, but a machine, well, if I put a bomb on the machine, well, the machine just blows to pieces, and then, well, that's a lot of effort.
Just frustrated by the distractagon. Repeatedly.
Well, the Distractagon's really simple to make, though.
Where do you keep finding those disco balls anyway?
I have a supply of them.
You just have a
Where
warehouse.
do you live
I
that has
have
an
my
actual
sources.
supply of disco balls?
As if to put in his point, as he says that, he kind of just pulls out a disco ball from his bag.
Now all I can think is you've been doing under the table deals with Tibbs to get you disco balls.
It'd be hilarious.
Powder, you have a problem. You need to quit this addiction to disco.
Powder Keg is prepared for disco ball emergencies.
It's kind of like Pinkie Pie, how she's got a ball everywhere in Ponyville. That Powder Keg just has a disco ball everywhere in the mall.
Actually found a document on Pinkie Pie's emergency disco ball stash and went around stealing from that.
I'd believe him.
I'd believe that.
And
Canon
I'm
accepted.
going to say this just because I'm an awful person, but in that scenario where, Tibbs and Powder are doing under the table deals for disco balls, Tibbs' response is, "Well, it's the only known cure for disc fever, so."
Oh, no,
I
Powder
approve
Keg
and
does
hate
not
you.
have disco fever. Powder Keg just likes making Distractagons.
And giving other people disco
More
fever.
cowbell.
We do need more cowbell. You know what?
We
The next
absolutely
Distractagon is going to have a cowbell on it.
Yes.
Are you going to make sure it survives? Is my question.
Nope.
Wouldn't that be a Brahmin bell, though?
A what bell?
Brahmin bell.
Cows
Like the
still
ramen
have
noodles?
this universe.
Well,
But they're called
and also
Brahmin
like,
now.
but we
No,
still
but that's
know what.
Brahmin
A,
are the two-headed
Two-headed
cows.
and we
There
still
are
know
only,
what a.
like one-headed cows left. But
Yeah,
no.
but we still know what a cow is. Oh my god, why are we getting into a semantic argument about cowbells in Fallout Equestria?
Anyway,
Flotsam asks, so, does anyone know which part of Ribcage is affected by the machine curse and which part is affected by the voodoo curse?
Aurelia-
No, but considering we're traveling through Machine Coast territory, I'm guessing we're gonna be,
Wait. We're traveling through Machine Curse territory right now, or
not
in the
not
future?
quite. You're still on the road north, which is still kind of a safe zone.
we're gonna be in
It's
Machine
going to
Coast
stop.
territory soon.
Javolt is going to stop and pull out one of his taint-proof cloaks and say, "This one is going to be my special curse-proof cloak. As soon as I can figure out how to do that."
Aurelia just kind of rolls her eyes and says, "I'm kind of the only one who's immune right now."
Is
We
this
might
gonna
just
In
have
case
to
you
deal
haven't
with the dragon.
noticed, my leg is a machine.
Yeah, this is gonna be kind of scary for Javolt. We don't know how this is gonna
Yeah.
affect him.
Yeah,
I
Javolt,
didn't say it was going to be
I
scary.
think we've
I
noticed
just
that
know it's
like
going to be
half
trouble.
was machine.
Sorry.
We'll just have, like, steel carry him or something.
May I roll?
I have three other
history.
legs. It's just if this one starts trying to
You want to roll
claw my
history?
own heart out.
History and or streetwise, because, I mean, Tibbs has been in the mall for a while, so I figured he would know roughly where the curse area is
Yeah,
and or which
roll,
half is
roll
which.
either
so.
one of those. Yeah.
Okay. I will roll Street Smarts since it has a higher percentage.
Nat 1.
No, not
A
that
nat
one.
dude.
Damn it.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh, not
Well,
as bad as
technically
that.
didn't listen to me, so win
I
for
don't
that.
use magic, and I don't deal with that much technology, therefore, fuck
Well-
if I know.
Thankfully, it's not terribly like rare knowledge. Basically, the mods kind of split up into sort of kind of pie-like structures. The area between Apocalypse and Ribcage is affected by the machine curse, and the area between Ribcage and the Red Scale Cathedral, that's the Voodoo curse.
Is Red
Tibbs
Scale...
in-
Oh, sorry.
In that case, Tibbs will relay the information and just kind of shrug at Javolt and say, sorry mate, really the only way to get there, unless you want to take a really long way around.
Does this...
Oh,
What
by the
can you
way,
tell us about the curse itself?
Think of it this way. We can get rid of the curse by killing another dragon. I mean, we've been
I
doing
would
that a
prefer
lot.
to
Yeah, well, we
actually,
haven't done that in
hack
a while.
the dragon's mind and make it our slave.
I am fully okay with that plan.
Oh boy.
That would be great, except that's not happening.
I didn't say it was going to be easy.
Javolt ZenCon buddy road trip. Heck yeah. Let's go.
I will mentally prepare for that now that I know that that's your plan.
I said
but-
nothing.
Alright,
The
then,
DM
I
will
guess,
remember this.
So, I
Spud,
guess... Do we want to go try to deal with the dragon on the machine curse, or do we want to make a beeline for Ribcage?
we want to go to Ribcage.
Yes,
Smack
Ribcage.
Talk- Apart
Ribcage is...
from Javolt's thing, Smacktalk said that the cult of Tiamat are being allowed in there again, and we need to find out more about the cult, because we need to get in there and rescue Aurelia's sibling.
Oh yeah. I forgot. I really do need to have a chat with some of them.
Yes. I still don't understand how they're hybridizing after birth.
Exactly, that's why we need to get in there and...
Something about reality warping.
They're almost certainly using Aurelia's sibling, and they're almost certainly getting some kind of other magic, because Famine had draconic magic. So it's being used for hybridization, it's being used to increase magic, and it's just wrong. We need to get him or her out of there.
Are we absolutely sure that this is... Javolt sort of pauses and shakes his head and says, I'm sorry, my head just went far long term. Never mind me.
It's cool.
All right. I need to step away for a second, so I will be right back.
Alright.
Sure.
DM's gone.
Welcome, ladies
Plan
and
discussion
gentlemen,
time.
to the
Let's
Dragon's Paw Talent Show!
Oh,
Variety show! Variety show!
God. No.
No?
No.
So what's everyone's plans for Ribcage, by the way? Just to see
See
how much.
Blinky.
Well, yeah.
I've made... Whoa.
that's really Powder's only plan for that area at the moment.
Of course, Powder's plan is get laid.
I have made no plans for Ribcage.
I didn't say anything
Javal's
about getting
plan
laid. I'm
is
gonna get laid.
primarily to locate Raven and or Jenny. He suspects it's actually Jenny, since, it was years ago.
She was.
Hey, if you need help searching for stuff, do ask, because I'll gladly lend you a couple of uses of the tracking spell.
Watson would be up for helping as well, obviously.
But of course, Javolt is always going to be on a search for good, balancing companions for the rest of the group.
Of course. I know it.
Lawless town. Tibbs has been in the mall for a while. What do you think he's gonna do?
Get a drink, find a prostitute, sell some drugs, hug a kitten.
The answer is drugs. The answer
what's wrong?
is sell drugs.
So what's Firelight planning on doing then?
And where? Ribcage?
Ribcage.
I don't know.
Firelight,
Fair enough.
Wanna help me sell drugs?
Like the beacon.
No. If anything, I will try to stop you from selling drugs.
Why?
Oh, God.
Don't be another tempered steel. We already have a tempered steel.
I'm not gonna overtly try to do it and stuff. Just sabotage.
Tempered, we're happy
I'm
being
waiting
up.
to hear it. Come on, Joey. You know you want to say it.
What? What do I need?
The Tibbs, are you selling drugs?
I can hear what you're saying up there.
I know.
Wait, where? I'm sorry. Someone explain. I'm sorry. I walked away from the computer and stuff.
What we
What's
seem
going
to
on?
be having is a half in character and half out of character conversation.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
So
a bit of both.
What's Foxum's plan then? I guess for Ribcage.
Help Javolt if you'll let me. And, she wants to track down cult members because she wants to find out more about how they can infiltrate it. She's dead set on getting Aurelia's sibling back.
yes, that. Deal with cult members. And second thing on the agenda is avoid booze.
Yes.
Yeah, don't let Powder talk us into
He
going
says,
drunk.
having drunk cider.
Oh man.
Don't let Powder talk us into doing shots again, I should say.
No, I've had Javolt drink before, but I haven't had him any more than mildly drunk. He has a lot of tolerance for alcohol.
Yeah, I can see that.
A fake liver will do that.
I don't.
Hey, you know it's
I don't
it's a good
know
one.
if he actually has any internal cybernetics.
I thought you were going to say, I don't know if he has any internal organs.
He has internal organs. Otherwise, he wouldn't be such a good cook.
That makes
What?
no sense.
Yeah, no, I see the logic there.
How? Oh,
I mean,
he
how?
wouldn't be able to eat?
Well, no, he'd be able to eat, but, something's terrible if it starts making your stomach feel bad.
That doesn't mean he doesn't have other organs that could be cybernetic and or artificial.
Guys,
That just means his stomach isn't.
Stomach is the only organ you
is
need.
that Javolt installed all his cybernetics himself, so you'd have to have him doing self-surgery while in a fugue state.
I could see it happening.
Dally was talking, let's...
Oh, I was just going to say, Yoshi said something funny, which is when you were talking about, don't let Powder talk us into doing shots again. Yoshi says, give Flotsam the booze instead.
God damn it. Flotsam doesn't
someone
need
is
the
going to give
booze.
Flotsam booze.
So
at
I
some
lied. I
point.
was listening the whole time.
Oh,
Of course you were.
No, I'm kidding. I actually needed to use the bathroom. So,
It's fine.
So I think
Really,
pretty much
just a lot of
every
you guys
time.
break.
We all decided we're going to Ribcage for intelligent, sensible reasons and definitely not to torture anyone.
Okay, cool.
Or to sell drugs.
God. Before I forget, can Flotsam
And definitely not to get laid.
Flotsam
Okay.
please be taking a passive sort of perception check, just kind of looking out for landmines and signs of ambush, that kind of thing.
Of course.
Thank you. Do you want me to roll, or can I just take
No,
it passive?
I'll just take 10 on that.
Thank you very much.
Great, I can
Stay
think of
with
it as one of
Tibbs.
the zombies wandering around just being like boom, 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 walking.
Yeah, besides, that's what those are for. Alright.
Admittedly, Tibbs is walking closer to the zombies than to the living people because it feels more comfortable to him.
Oh, I can actually understand that. Dead people are easy to deal with. It's the living you gotta worry about.
I know, some of the dead people are
you
kind of
can just
assholes.
smash.
Amazing discussions we have when a necromancer's in the party.
They remind him of home. So
Anyway,
Ooh, that's actually something I was meaning to
Master
ask.
Weaver asked me a really awkward question in Skype chat that I'm not going to bother repeating.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
Now I want to know what it is. PM
No!
PM me, Weaver.
I must know.
What are the odds that there's a female Minotaur in Ribcage?
Okay.
Oh god.
Alright, so,
I
as, you're walking along, you eventually reach the, fork in the path up to the north where the sort of Maz highway resumes and, start traveling east along the road. And after, about 15 minutes walking along that way, Javolt, you find that, your machinery is starting to tingle a bit, and then, without any more warning than that, starts to go a little bit haywire.
I do have the ability to literally see magic now.
So, okay, so, before that, you can actually kind of see, almost like a wall before you, this, great sort of, like, metallic-colored aura, like, blanketing, like a wall stretching all the way from the mountain to the edge of the maw, like, in front of you.
Let me just see what the actual text says, if I can access my sheet. Come on. Sorry.
No problem.
You said what again?
He's a level 7 Destiny talent.
No, the other thing. What you said.
What was the other thing I said that you want to know?
The path or something?
The road.
Oh, did I hear you say something about going to the mountain or up the mountain?
Oh,
or?
no. Not the path. Assuming that Javolt's magic sense kind of works the way I imagine it does.
Okay.
He's seeing
Javolt's
kind of a rust-colored sort of wall-like aura in front of him.
Oh, it says you can only see the existence of magical energy, meaning you automatically succeed on checks to detect magic if you are looking at the magic's source.
Ah, so it's an active thing, not a passive thing. Is that accurate?
It seems somewhere in between.
Really? Go over the wording one more time.
You can
You
only
can
see
only see the existence of magical energy, implying passive, meaning that you automatically succeed on checks to detect magic if you are looking at the magic's source.
In this system, when a sentence includes the word meaning, it usually means that it's the literal explanation that you should be following instead.
Okay, can we just say that for whatever reason, Javolt pokes his limb in front first, and that's where the tinkling comes from?
I think especially since the energies of the curses are so prevalent, you can kind of sense them approaching, even if it's not quite so clear. But you've gained a sense for it, and so Javolt kind of stops like right in front of where the curse begins, even though the rest can't quite see it.
Right. Igor, you need to shut down now. Igor shuts down.
Flotsam, as you kind of pass over the invisible threshold, your pip buck starts to kind of flash.
Oh no! Flotsam is going to take a few steps back and then try and shut down the pit buck safely so that it's kind of on, like, hibernating so it won't fritz out so much.
As you pass back out, the pit buck kind of resets.
Yeah.
Javolt sort of clears his throat and looks at Flotsam and says, "Are any of your grenades technologically based?"
I don't know if it
It's
counts as a curse or not.
It's more mechanical than tech, but it could be a risk.
Yeah,
Sort
maybe
of
well, I guess-
find out.
How
we should
simple
all just
does
stop here and check our machines and see if they are yes.
Flotsam nods, sets down her saddlebags, and very carefully takes one of each kind of bomb out of her bag.
Tempered Steel is going to stand at the base where it appeared the general edge of the thing is, and he's going to hold his arm out, hammer in hand, and gently hold it over the line to see what happens.
Nothing immediately happens.
Powder
Well-
Keg is going to test his Well, basically, Powder Keg is going to first hold out the detonator into that kind of magical area and see if he feels it sparking or anything for his C4.
No, not when you hold it out. No.
He's going to kind of carefully. Well, actually, no. He can throw it as hard as he wants. It won't go off on its own. It has to have the charge. So yeah, he's just going to take the C4 out of his bag and just throw it as far as he can into that magical field, and then just kind of set the detonator within that and wait to see if anything goes wrong.
So you throw the C4 like a good distance onto the road, the path ahead, and you set your detonator down just on the other side of where Javolt's kind of indicating where the curse starts. But as you wait, nothing really seems to happen on its own.
Can I have Javolt pull out one of his taint-proof cloaks and try to modify it to resist this curse instead?
Really, no.
Darn. Can I use a Destiny talent to try that?
Try setting it off, see what happens.
Try what?
Powder.
Okay, so Powder Keg is only going to arm one of the C4s and put the others back in his bag, and then hold the detonator within the magic and try to detonate the C4.
Okay, you press down the detonator, and it kind of sparks and sort of shakes a little bit unexpectedly, and then the C4, instead of exploding, just kind of bursts into flames, like this standing flame. And the C4 slowly burns, but doesn't detonate for whatever reason.
What the hell? How does that not explode? Fire's supposed to... What the fuck?
I look at the fire, then I look at Firelight, and I'm like, we could work with that.
So basically, we're gonna, over the tech and magic area, we're gonna have the people who rely on magic stuff cover for the tech people, and then do the inverse on the other side.
Aurelia kind of watches this all and studies it for a bit. And of course, she walks in with her plasma caster, fires off a few shots, and it works perfectly.
I'm glad we got you this rally.
Aurelia kind of looks back at the rest and says, this is kind of a guess, but what I'm thinking is, it doesn't make your grenades explode, it doesn't, really ruin stuff if it's passive, but when you try to use stuff actively, then the curse really kicks in.
So I can't make things blow up in here.
Well,
like it.
Your explosives won't always work the way you expect them to in here.
Blossom goes very,
They
very
still might be devastating, just not in a way you expect.
I don't like this.
Okay, Javolt blinks and says, Aurelia, come back out of there. I need to do something here.
Aurelia walks back out of the curse zone.
Okay, so,
Be hugging her grenades.
can Javolt... Javolt, can he look at Aurelia to see if he can determine how her immunity works magically?
If you want to use the active part of that talent, yeah.
Okay, so I gain a +10 bonus to identify the nature of magical effects. Is that useful?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
I just realized I forgot to do my roll for my thing that I should have done at the beginning of the thing.
Oh, your metagamer stuff.
Yeah, which could potentially come in highly useful.
Well, just do it.
Alright, I'll wait for him.
Can the rolls be transferred to other players like that? Or is it just
I
type
think
It's only you.
Yeah. So
Wait.
It doesn't matter, Javal.
Okay.
Oh, hey, a 20 again.
Yeah. Please.
Alright, let me see what my roll is. I got a 35 for determining how her immunity works.
Well, it says a D20 is rolled outside of combat and you dislike the result.
Oh.
Oh,
So,
I guess,
I
you can just
use it
replace it.
like my reroll power on any outside of combat roll.
Well, I've got a 10 on my roll. Do you want to give me a 15 or a 20?
Well, it's 35.
With the 35, which is pretty impressive and doesn't really need boosting. Basically the nature of Aurelia's immunity seems to be just kind of sort of hardwired into her very being. She is immune to the curses because she is a dragon, and that is just kind of built into her sort of super mutant dragon, form.
Javolt suddenly gets this big grin and says, "Aha!" And he takes off his electro cape. If I can use the shards of smog, which I still have, to convince
Didn't
the
they
curse
burn
that
up?
I am a dragon, then my cybernetics will not malfunction. I don't know if this is going to work, though.
Aurelia just kind of blanches it and says, that sounds exactly as much of a bad idea as the last time you tried interfacing with Smaug's shards.
To be completely fair, that was a direct mental interface. This time,
What
it's
you need to
just
do with
through
these
my-
shards is to somehow integrate them into your very being to
What?
convince
Ooh, a
to
soul
trick the person
transfer?
into thinking you're Aurelia. You'd have
That
to
sounds like a bad thing. Remember the
you'd
last
have to turn
time
yourself
part of
into a
Smaug
dragon is
got-
basically what have to happen.
Don't have the...
And you
I
know,
don't know.
know
What
what?
if you put the shards in his like power supplies and other shit? Like the tech is dragon.
the tech is draconic.
Yes, that was my basic idea.
You'd only be able to do that for maybe one piece of tech, I think.
He doesn't need his eyes.
Javolt sort of gives then kind of look.
And besides, we don't even know what the machine curse will do to your, passive cybernetics.
How are we defining passive here?
Fair point. Tempered, you should just throw him in.
Yeah, I
Well,
Oh.
you aren't trying to... Are there utility talents that are connected to your cybernetics?
There's the cyber claw,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was at one point something connected to his eyes, but I switched that out. But there's also the fact he can now literally see magic, which I think is active. But that's part of his destiny talent.
So, kind of what I implied before is that
And there's all his inventions.
So basically, as long as if we don't try to use a utility ability, we'll be okay.
or try to use machines in any sort of active way. Yeah.
Right.
But it's still a big F you to Powder Keg and Flotsam.
Oh yeah, no, obviously. But
I mean, Powder Keg is like doubly fucked by the next two curses we have to deal
Oh.
with. Because this one just makes all my explosives not work, and the next
But
one
they
makes
do
all my magic
something.
not work. And my magic is how I use my explosives. So
Yeah,
know,
but you at least,
Uh,
Powder, at least you have a backup. I'm going to walk into the magic zone and become completely useless. Like, I
Same
want to
here.
Zenkarn, boring Earth Pony.
Yeah, basically. I don't want to be an Earth Brony. No one wants to be an Earth Brony.
This is pretty much the same things.
Okay, Javolt is going to raise a claw and say, as basically an Earth Pony without Earth Pony magic, I take offense to that.
Well, that's why I said
Tibbs is-
that's why I said boring
Tibbs is
Earth
going to
Pony.
smile at
Sorry, what?
That's
Tibbs
why
is going
I
to
was-
smile at all.
Okay, Tibbs is gonna smile.
Sorry, Tibbs is going to smile at all this and go, and this is why I carry a knife.
I mean, sure,
That's
you have
actually the
weapons,
problem.
But that's not the point.
Actually, I think Tibbs has a point. Maybe some of us, we still need to figure out what to do about Javolt, but me and Powder, we should probably buy some melee weapons when we get into town.
well, I think I have an idea. For now, Powder Keg is just going to pull out the little pistol that he never actually shoots with and just levitate it in his horn. It's still a little hunk of metal.
Pistol whip all the things.
Yep.
I look at Flotsam and I'm like, can I make you a miniature scythe? Come on, it'd be cool.
So,
Lots
Spud,
of
what do you want me to
HP.
do? Prepare
Especially
myself
with
up like an
weapons.
alternate set of combat talents for using this pistol instead of my explosives for here?
Yeah, I'd say an alternate list of 5 combat talents for those who want sort of reflavor their combat abilities in such a way in the curse
Yeah,
zones.
Javolt is just going
Would be
to
appropriate.
Javolt
You
is going
heard
to use the
Zenkarn
shards of
say that-
Smaug to make his electro cape immune to the curse.
However, for this session, if we do run into any combat, which it's me, it's unlikely. You can just kind of reflavor your current combat talents for that right now.
Right.
Alright.
Incidentally, you all heard Zenkarn say that he would make Flotsam a miniature scythe. So he has to do that now.
Oh, I'm
I'm
happy
not
to do
actually sure a scythe would be a good weapon for you.
Don't
no
care.
offense, Karn. It's
Don't care.
it's just that you're a flight capable young lady. Something
Alright then, you know what?
Exactly,
We could stand
something with a
here
little bit
and
of
talk
reach, a
about
little
this
bit of
curse all
swinging.
day, or we could do this. And then Powder Keg just kind of walks in, levitating the pistol up like a, holding it like a small hammer in his magic, like holding the butt end down, so that's the part where you hit someone with, that kind of thing.
Lots of
Tempered
roll
Steel will
flies
follow after him.
for bombs.
Yeah, I'll walk in too.
Javolt is going to wait until everyone else has walked in and then follow them.
Alright, Javolt, when you cross the threshold, it kind of feels like a wave of static goes through all your cybernetics. It is this great unpleasant tingling sensation. Your goggles kind of seem to switch between, like, viewing modes, like night vision and infrared back to normal again. Your claw kind of spins and whirs a bit outside of your control. Your electrocate charges up a bit, and then all at once the effects kind of cease, and you're kind of back to normal, although you still feel kind of unpleasant right now.
I think I was just scanned.
Either that or you were just screwed with.
I prefer the term scanned. It's less invading.
Sorry.
Alright. So do you continue on?
Let's
Yes.
do that.
Alright. So you start walking through the machine curse territory. Flotsam, with your kind of perception scouting going on, you can kind of see, if you get up high, kind of way off in the distance, you can kind of see what look like sort of mangled, beaten up robots kind of roaming this part of the desert. But you're far enough away that they don't really take notice of you.
Flotsam frowns and floats over to the others. There's some robots over there that look like they've been hit by the curse pretty bad.
We better avoid them. They might,
they
I don't
might
know.
attack the site.
I ain't seen too many robots that don't attack ponies on set.
Oh yeah, which reminds me, Igor is,
Igor was deactivated.
yeah, Igor was deactivated, that's right, good. That's
Someone
very
carry?
good.
Does this tempered steel, not actively using it, sense there anything off with his hammer at all, or?
You also kind of, it also kind of sparked and buzzed a little weirdly as you crossed over the threshold, but, it's not doing anything right now. So, you walk along in, relative safety for a while, and then, you hear some, flapping noise above you, and a voice shout out, "Hey!"
Flotsam looks up. Swift?
Yep, it's, didn't even need to say anything else, it's Swift.
Swift! Flotsam goes over and hugs him.
Well, hello.
Oh, he kind of, as Flotsam's hugging him, he kind of descends down to the ground to land in front of the group. Hi.
Hey, Swift. How's it going?
Interesting. He just kind of looks at you all just kind of incredulously and says, "I wasn't expecting what you guys did in Apocalypse. I don't think
That's
anyone
neither.
was expecting that."
I don't think any of us were expecting that to work.
Hey, the
we did.
important thing
That's
is
the win.
So, yeah, so, we've been, doing what we can. He kind of rubs the back of his neck with one of his claws, and he says, "So, yeah, the sort of anti-cult thing we've got going on, we've been doing what we can to recruit and get help and whatnot. Really, we're not really much of a religious group at this point. We're just kind of ex-cultists at this point. Because, really, at this point, he kind of looks to Aurelia. No offense, but the dragons really haven't been helping us that much, especially not these past few weeks." And Aurelia just shrugs and says, "Yeah, pretty much. They're all just kind of jerks." And Swift says, "But we've been doing our best to keep an eye on them, and especially once the word went out that Apocalypse went the way it did, we definitely kept an eye on them." He kind of roots around in one of his bags and pulls out this little tape. It's like a little cassette tape type thing.
What's that?
This is one of our. We got someone kind of on the inside in the cult right now, and they managed to record one of the meetings with the grandfathers of the cult.
That's great! What'd you find out?
Well, basically it says that, he just kind of fumbles over his words for a second. Basically the cult is, kind of getting ready to militarize, I think.
Oh no.
Oh,
So wait,
they're gonna like kind of get a whole like conversion process going, but really it's just kind of an excuse to recruit all the raiders that the executive has and make them like cultist soldiers instead.
oh no.
Mhm.
oh wait, so they're trying to double cross him?
Nope.
Sort of?
They're just trying to make his raiders look like legitimate cultists.
Yeah, so
That's
I
boring.
mean, the cult of Tiamat up to this point was basically just a kind of a weird religious group that worshipped dragons, but the executive's turning it into a whole faction with a whole military.
Yep.
Oh, this is
Sounds about right.
So, like,
They still letting
They still what?
they're still asking for volunteers.
Yeah, they're still trying to make more hybrids, although they're trying to keep rumors down, but there are a few more hybrids. I mean, I tried my best to spread the word after you told me about the whole soul thing, and well, a couple more have defected. Not sure where they went, but they just kind of ran for it. I know, actually, there's a buddy of mine in Ribcage right now, I think.
We're headed there. Who is he?
When he was a unicorn, he went by the name Gunslinger. And he's kind of like set himself up in Ribcage right now, so and he's one of the good ones, so I want to just let you know that.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Can find out when we ask him.
Oh, also, were you able to get a message out to the followers?
We've reached out. We haven't really heard back yet.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not sure like what else we can do. I mean, like we had some ideas about kind of trying to become our own faction, but that really isn't going to work out. So we might end up just like either going our own ways or just doing what we can to sabotage the cult from the inside, or basically doing what we can. But I mean, some of them might go join the followers after this, but I honestly don't know what more they could do for us. That, I mean, like it or not, Pestilence is kind of the healers of this part of the mall right now.
But you could always join up with one of the tribes.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was actually,
they're
now that I heard that, like, the Four Horses friendly, I was actually gonna try, maybe talking to the leader of the Death Gang, or tribe. Right, sorry, tribe.
yeah,
See if,
I mean,
maybe
Four
he could-
Horses are pretty much, at least supposedly, supposed to be the good guys now. Strange as that sounds.
try and see if, maybe he can figure out some of this soul stuff. Offer
Hey,
myself up
possibly.
as a test subject or something.
If
Yeah,
anyone
I'd
could,
definitely be
that.
worth a look.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of much other ponies in the wild who'd be better at figuring this out than Death.
He kind of, looks a bit nervous and says, so is he, actually, Death himself or something? Is that rumor
Oh.
true?
No, it's
No.
just a name. I mean,
It's a
he's
name.
powerful as all get out. You definitely don't want to piss him off, but
Yeah, do not
No.
get on his bad side.
he's
Um,
not literally death.
I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be easy to understand why someone might mistake him for the Death, though.
Okay. Anyway, just kind of wanted to pass along that message. I think the cult's gonna send out, their official statement, either tomorrow or the day after, but, and they're probably gonna, I mean, he looks to Aurelia, they're probably gonna, denounce you somehow, and they're probably gonna not like you going after the other dragons. That was the important thing. I should have said that, first.
So,
Sorry.
So a dragon
And-
cult is going to try and denounce a dragon.
Well, I mean, they're gonna say something about, how because the pony interfered with the
She's tainted.
yeah, basically, she's corrupted or something, It's a cult, they're gonna say something like that.
Still, that kind of has a way of backfiring on them, given if they're really as big a dragon boosters as they claim to be.
Well, I mean, Whoa, Codeman.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't saying
You
there was
were-
no noise on mine.
There was shifting noises and whatnot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Swift says, I mean, the dragons were, causing trouble for, we're basically making Pony suffer in this maw, and, some of them were basically okay with what you're doing. That's why there was a schism. But now the executive and the sort of, the loyal cultists are now kind of in control now that the rest of us have left. Now they're like, no, we want the undead dragons to stay, and anyone who goes against them is now an enemy or something.
Well, maybe if they're going to be putting an announcement out, maybe we should get ahead of them. Have Aurelia make another announcement on Radio Crackle, maybe? I mean,
Swift shakes his head. And anyone who'd be around to listen to that has already left.
Okay.
I mean, the things are kind of set now. There's not a whole lot more we can do against the cult except for us to keep an eye on them and for you to make sure they don't, stop you from defeating the rest of the dragons. And he kind of looks down at the ground, saving us.
Do you have any intelligence about the egg they have? I mean, we're fairly sure they have it.
Honestly, I don't think I remember even seeing an egg during the process. They've got it well hidden, and
Or I suppose it might have been hatched.
I honestly don't. I mean, it makes sense that they have one, but they keep that secret really well guarded.
No, that's fine. But if your people on the inside ever find out,
yeah, we'll let you know immediately, of course.
Thank you. And Swift, really appreciate this. We know that you're putting yourself and your associates are putting yourselves in danger. So, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yes. Thank you for, everything you're doing. And he looks to Aurelia and says, and then thank you for, saying what you needed to say. Yeah. And Aurelia just kind of shrugs. Whatever. So Swift just kind of looks around awkwardly and says, so, yeah, that's about it.
Wait, I have one more question.
Yeah?
Do all the members of the cult now know exactly how they're making the hybrids?
Like, everyone in the the upper management pretty much knows, but like most of the basic members is like the Dragon Hybrid project is like public knowledge, but like how it actually works is like upper tier knowledge.
Do you think if the lower tiers found out exactly how it was happening, that any of them would desert?
If they understood what the consequences were, I guess.
Okay.
But, not every pony in the maw really believes in, immortal soul anyway, so. Unfortunately, the cult of Tiamat is a lot more about, sort of spiritual wealth, but spiritual wealth in the material world.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Anyway, anything else? I do want to get over to meet death if possible.
Flotsam shakes her head.
Okay.
Nope. Just tell him I said hi.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. And he starts flapping his wings and taking to the skies. Thanks, Mawlers. I'll catch up with you later, I think. Later. Bye.
Be careful.
Good luck.
He flies off. And then he, stops in midair and then flies right back and says, oh, crap, sorry. Really, most important thing, I forgot. He reaches into his bag and pulls out this key card. Looks like a key card, and gives it over to Flotsam, and says,
She takes it.
We've got a kind of a safe house, in the Voodoo Curse area between Ribcage and it's like a bit northeast of Ribcage.
Knock knock. Sorry. Sorry, I heard knocking in the background. Flotsam smiles and tucks the keycard safely away. Thank you.
If you want, you can, use that as a safe house, and some of the other ex-cultists use that. So, you can rendezvous there if you need to. That's why I was here to, give you that too. I can't believe I forgot. Sorry.
She gives him a fond smile and gives him another hug. You're the best, Swift.
Pip buck beeps. Map marker added.
Yeah.
Safe
I
house.
turned it off.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It'll
But how are we
it'll auto
supposed to get the
update.
map marker added?
It'll auto update when you get to turn back on.
All right.
All right, and Swift this time takes off and flies a bit more quickly towards Apocalypse. Pardon me. And he just kind of flies away.
All right, then. Let's continue on to Ribcage.
All right. Continue traveling for a good little while. Flotsam, you're still doing your passive perception thing, right?
Yes.
You kind of notice off in the distance that there seems to be a patrolling group of what looks like famine raiders up ahead.
Okay. Question. Is there a way to distinguish between famine tribes ponies and executive famine raiders?
Not at a glance.
But logically speaking,
Probably better to avoid them. No point starting a fight if we don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not exactly going to get offended.
Yeah.
there's famine types over there, but I can't tell if they're friendlies or executive ones.
Well, let's just avoid them.
Okay. I mean,
Avoiding.
I'm
avoiding
assuming
all-
I'm assuming we don't recognize any of them.
No, they don't look like anyone you know.
Okay.
Look, here's why I know they're executive. Because if they were famine, I mean, everyone was called back to Apocalypse, and they're
But yeah,
heading
you know
towards us from somewhere else.
Oh, are they coming towards us from somewhere else?
Yeah, they're coming from further up the path from the northeast. So
Okay.
So yeah, no, they're executive.
Okay.
The question is, were they mind controlled?
If they were, they might want to go back home.
Well, it's not worth risking. If they want to go back home, they're already on their way, and we don't need to stop them.
Are you saying that? Oh, that's out of character.
Mm-hmm. But I will say that in character, if anybody wants to try and say we should talk to them, or bring up that reasoning
Nope.
at least.
Well, Flotsam did.
Oh, then Powder Keg says that.
Right.
all right. So what do you guys end up doing then? You just try and give them a wide berth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. As you start to veer off the path,
Flotsam keep glancing at them though.
Flotsam, you notice that at one of the famine guys with a pair of binoculars seems to have taken notice of you guys, and
Nudge. They see us.
and after kind of what looks like a very sort of hurried discussion amongst themselves, they start giving you kind of a wide berth in the opposite direction. You guys kind of veer right, they kind of veer left.
They're avoiding us. What do you think? Probably don't want to get blown up, I guess. You think?
Most likely.
Wouldn't be surprised if
Flotsam
not many
does keep
people
glancing
want to.
back at them though.
Wouldn't surprise me if not many want to start a fight in this particular territory.
That's true.
And basically you just end up kind of circling each other a bit. And when you get to a point where you're both kind of make a line perpendicular to the road, the famine raiders just start just start kind of running ahead, just trying to get as far away from you as possible.
Guys, I think we might have a reputation.
No, really?
Whatever gave you that idea?
Either that or they forgot they left the oven on.
Yeah.
That's happened to me so many times, you have no idea.
Anyway, more
So I
walking.
guess carry on.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So after a certain point, pretty actually kind of uneventful travel. The path kind of makes a right turn towards the southeast. Presumably, this is the main road to Ribcage now, and you start traveling along that. After about another half-hour travel, you see in the distance this great kind of big ol' collection of big ol' dragon skeletons across a part of the landscape, and you see a bunch of sort of stucco houses built kind of around and within those giant skeletons.
Well, looks like we got to Ribcage.
Yeah.
Zenkar, look!
Also, as you kind of get onto that road, Javolt, you stop feeling that unpleasant tingling as the, seems like you're not kind of exempt from the machine curse right now.
Javolt pauses and glances around and very carefully pulls out Igor and reactivates her.
And, Igor just reactivates normally.
Igor, don't go that way.
Whoa, are we outside the machine curse?
Looks like it.
Aurelia nods and says, where the, two curses, collide, there seems to be a safe zone.
Oh, good.
And that's
Lots
where
of
all the major towns and settlements are all kind of situated.
That's interesting, actually. The curses cancel each other out.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Although Slayer Base was underground, so I guess it still kind of affected that there for a while, but I don't know. There was something weird about the Elder at Slayer Base, right?
Oh,
Well,
yeah. He was undead for a while.
Yeah, Slayer Base when that's the only curse we haven't seen really collide, because with Skyfall, the Blood Curse and the Betrayal Curse kind of clashed and caused nothing. In Gold Rush, it was on the border between the Death Curse and the
zombie and
Gold
the,
Curse, Fool's Gold Curse.
Fool's Gold Curse.
Tiamat. There's a Tiamat headquarters.
Yeah, the Red
Cathedral that's between where the Fool's Gold Curse used to be and where the Magic Curse still is, right?
Yep.
Ugh.
Okay, it's kind of funny how, we're kind of going counterclockwise around the map.
That's just how it works out.
Yeah, this is how it's worked out.
I mean, ultimately it works out so that it's most convenient for travel to go one direction around the map in that order, because, otherwise you have to backtrace over a lot of land to get to where you're going.
Yep.
Oh no, I know. It was actually the same thing in Fallout New Vegas and stuff, because basically if you went directly north and stuff, you'd run into a shit ton of stuff that'd try to kill you.
Alright, so, does it look like Ribcage has any guards, or is it just there?
Actually, as you get closer to Ribcage, you see a bit of smoke starting to rise and the sounds of what it sounds like some kind of conflict going on.
Okay,
God
Tempered
damn it,
Steel
we're
is
gonna have to kill
going to
someone.
rush ahead.
Javolt is also going to rush ahead.
Powder
Aurelia
Keg will rush ahead.
Aurelia's just bringing out her plasma casters, always with the running, you people.
I guess we're all running ahead.
It's not our fault you have such short legs!
Shut up!
Aurelia doesn't really have very short legs, though.
No,
And she can
they're of a
fly.
decent length.
Wait, or can she fly yet or no?
She can kind of barely fly, but she's very not good at it.
So she's got
Could
this
you
sort of
use them
hop,
to-
skip, fly gaits as she's carrying her gun.
Could she use them to, make long jumps across the ground?
I don't think the idea has occurred to her.
Only if she wants to look real
Tibbs is
busy.
going to maintain a leisurely pace.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with the zombies and Tibbs, I guess.
Sheikah's gonna stick around as well. But the rest of you who charge on ahead, you find that on the outskirts of the town, just outside where the biggest rib bones form one of the outer sort of walls of the town, you see what looks like just a kind of a random assortment of very sort of combat-savvy looking townsfolk engaged with what looks like these kind of bright red, kind of striped, glowing lizard-like creatures, and the lizards are breathing fire at the townsfolk.
Geckos.
Wait, so, do they look like actual dragons or hybrids?
They're
They-
salamanders.
They're salamanders, geckos, I believe they're called, usually.
Okay. Are the things that are breathing fire, how far away are they from the savvy townsfolk?
They're in combat, basically.
Are they in melee combat?
Some are in melee, some are kind of making do with some kind of ranged or, usually magic or something else.
Well, are any of the lizards in ranged or away from the...
No, they're all kind of getting into close quarters.
Okay, so Tempered Steel couldn't try and hit those lizards with a weather thing without hitting some townsfolk.
No, you couldn't
We're
do that.
assuming that the lizards are, not sapiens.
Okay. Can Tempered Steel rush in and try and do not a sneak attack per se, but hit them before they have a chance to react?
Actually, we can just. I'm actually wanting to try out some kind of combat shorthand here. You can just kind of rush in and start using combat talents.
Oh.
No need to initiative or set a turn order. Just kind of rush in and start playing it out.
Okay. Tempered Steel. Then Tempered Steel rush in, and can I only use things that I'd normally be able to use as far as
energy goes? Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. So I just have a bunch of explosives. So.
Well, your explosive should be good right now.
True. So, yeah, I'm gonna use Powder Keg's gonna run in and use mini bombs. 1d6 to 3 creatures. Let's go.
All right.
2 damage. Real good. But, then he's gonna follow up with some shrapnel. Some, shrapnel bombs. And those are gonna go in and do 3d8 to up to 3 creatures. So the same 3 creatures are also gonna take another 20 damage.
Okay. Tempered Steel is going to is going to find a group of them that a group of 3 that are close together, and he's going to use crowd control to deal, as he swings his hammer around, to deal 1d6 damage to each of them.
Yeah, Javolt's going to charge up his cape with Javoltage, which is the whole... Wow, so he takes 28 points of damage, but he gets 5 energy.
And Tempered Steel does 2 damage to each of those lizards.
Okay, so Javolt, once again, nearly, bloodies himself. Powder Keg, your kind of shrapnel bomb attack kind of takes out a group of 3 of the fire geckos.
Oh, a quick question. I do have that trait that says whenever you roll initiative, you summon a... Does that just mean I just get it?
You can just get Igor in there, yeah.
Okay.
Can Firelight go ahead and do something? Okay. Then without breaking pace and stuff, running towards the geckos, I'm gonna use my Mystic Sheath to summon Flame Tongue, and then use Blazing Blade, which deals 2d10 damage to up to 6 enemies.
Alright.
Is anyone else hearing background noise?
Yeah, there's a little bit of background
noise. I am.
I'm hearing it.
Like people talking in the background.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
I'm hearing kind of a very sort of high-pitched kind of clicking or whistling noise every so often, very faintly.
Yeah, I was hearing that as well.
Would me and Tibbs be around-ish by now?
Not quite yet.
That's cool.
The background talking and stuff is coming from me. My roommates are having dinner. And I dealt 10 damage. Which,
Alright.
How many geckos are there?
Powder Keg just took out 3, so there's about, a group of 8 of them right now.
Okay, well, Tempered Steel engaged...
I dealt 10 damage to 6 of them.
Oh, well, and they definitely look visibly wounded by that.
Wait, how many
cool,
did
so Powder Keg's gonna throw off another group of bombs at 3 of them.
Wait, which...
For 3 damage to each.
Because Tempered...
Yeah, what would Steel do?
Yeah, because I already had Tempered... before Firelight did whatever, I have a roll in there even where Tempered Steel jumped into, a group of 3 of them and swung his...
And dealt 2 damage.
Right, so I didn't know whether there was something that happened in response to that, or...
Not yet,
or
no.
Is it okay? So.
Yeah, Powder Keg is throwing more bombs.
Flotsam needs to do something.
Yeah.
We're not doing much in the way of initiative order, but, at least make sure everyone gets a turn in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like a little bit of chaos at the moment.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw a grenade. So deal 1d8 damage to target creature and each creature adjacent to the target.
Well, that should be a pretty significant group of them.
Yep, so basically just throwing in the middle and seeing who I can hit. And let me just roll that d8. That's a 7.
Alright. And that gets a big old group of them. And the geckos turn their attention away from you from the townsfolk they were attacking towards you, kind of have them flanked, and then the townsfolk would include a buffalo, a griffin, a unicorn, and earth pony. They kind of charge in at the geckos now that you've got their attention, and start hacking and slashing and flinging spells at them as well.
And we're keeping all of them.
Do any do any of the geckos look like the alpha male?
Why do you assume the alpha is a male?
Good point.
There is one of them that seems to have a different coloring and is slightly larger than the rest.
All right, Templar Steel will swing at that with the armor pierce for 1d6 and suffer vulnerability 1, and I hit for 5.
All right. So it takes some damage.
And the vulnerability.
All right.
All right. Can I say Dr. Javolt uses let me see. He's going to use Pinnacle of Engineering, which is the 3d20 on every 20 you activate all 3 of your special moves, but you have to skip your next turn.
Okay.
So let's see if this works. Okay, so I got a 29 total on the alpha.
That's not a damage roll. That's for...
No, it is a damage roll.
What?
Oh, it's over you're using?
No, it's Hyper Beam.
Hyper Beam.
Oh, wow.
Right.
We're having gecko stew tonight.
Alright, you charge up your electric cape and just kind of fire this big old beam at the alpha fire gecko, the fire gecko alpha, which just with vulnerability 1 makes it an even 30, and you just completely vaporize it.
Someone's pet.
The rest of the fire geckos with the alpha gun just start to panic and try and retreat, but the rest of the townsfolk just kind of clean them up really quick now that they're basically on the run.
Right. Also, I regenerate 5 points because of my trait, but whatever.
Well, at this point, the combat's kind of over. And the buffalo, once the last fire gecko is just kind of squished under his mighty hoof, he just kind of glares at you and says, "Now, what was that for? We were handling ourselves just fine."
Well, that's kind of our nature to help individuals when we think they're in trouble.
Actually, I just wanted to use that part of my electro cape. It's been a while since I've used that.
He just kind of scoffs, and the griffin just kind of looks angry as well, and the unicorn and the earth runner just kind of look miffed as they start heading back into town.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Wonderful.
Zenkarn caught up at this point?
Yeah, the rest of the group is caught up at this point, and she could just kind of...
It's like, so you guys have just finished watching that. This huge mob of zombies, and there's 2 ponies, Ava and Changeling just walk up and be like, "Hey guys, what did we miss?"
You missed us needlessly helping a bunch of assholes.
You hear from inside the town. "Look, a bunch of zombies. Let's go!" And a couple of them start charging out at you with weapons drawn.
Oh, wait, hang on. They're not hostile.
Tibbs is going.
No, I just wait until they get really, really close, and then I just dismiss them all.
One of them swings at the zombie just as it disappears back into the earth, and it just kind of still holding the sword, kind of half buried in the ground, going, "Aww."
Are you
Man, you guys are really eager for a fight, huh?
Are you the town guard?
Tibbs is going to look at the ones that read and go, "And this is why I walked here slowly, because they can handle it. Welcome, Ribcage."
One of the earth bunny kind of looks up at you and says, "Well, yeah, you gotta handle yourself if you're gonna live here."
So, are
Sounds
you
like
just
such a
citizens, or are you an official guard?
We don't have an official guard here. We all take care of ourselves.
Hmm.
And we gotta,
Wonderful.
you see, we get attacked by those fire geckos practically damn near every day.
Sounds like such a delightful place to live.
Why do they attack nearly every day?
I don't know, because they got nothing else to do, whatever. It's free practice. We haven't lost a guy in at least 4 days.
Ever
4
since
days.
to the
4 days. Oh god. Please tell me you guys have a doctor.
He just kind of shrugs and starts heading back into the town.
Oh god, Firelight's getting on a bus again.
Hey,
God
wait,
damn
before
it.
you go,
I think we got a doctor. I haven't had to visit one in a while.
hey, before you go, is there a pony named Blinky in town?
The unicorn next to him says, "Oh yeah, the pony who took over the friggin' general store thing. Yeah, there's a pony there by that name, I think.
Can you direct me to it?
Nah, he keeps walking back into town.
Thank you too.
You know,
Lots of lights up.
that gecko thing sounds like something we should look into.
I hate this town already. Let's go.
I know, this town seems kind of fun.
Such delightful people.
Sounds fun.
Javolt sort of clears his throat and says, I am just going to be wandering around. I'll catch up with the rest of you.
I've dealt with enough wasteland assholes. I don't need to walk into a town full of them.
Too
Lots of-
bad.
You are a wasteland asshole. I mean, what's the difference?
Flotsam looks slightly concerned at Javolt, but lets him go.
Whatever. I'm gonna find the store. Not like I can get any help from the locals. I guess I'll just have to start walking into buildings at random. See how they like that, because that's what they get for not telling me where the hell to go. Fuckers.
As you're muttering to yourself,
May I roll streetwise?
as you're muttering to yourself,
May I-
one more person kind of comes out of the town and heads towards your group. It's this sort of winged figure wearing this sort of cowboy's hat and what seems to be a sheriff's badge kind of pinned to his chest, to
Is he a
the scales on his chest.
He's a hybrid.
This cowboy hat wearing hybrid sheriff just kind of looks up at you and says, "Howdy."
Howdy.
Hey there.
Wait, is he a unicorn hybrid?
There's a bit of a glow around him, and his hat kind of levitates off his head as you see there's a unicorn horn protruding from his skull.
Oh, I take it you're Swift's friend then.
Which would make you the Dragon Mawlers.
Yep, real nice town you got here.
We make it work.
You were the sheriff.
I call myself Sheriff, and he kind of brings out this really kind of hefty-looking hand cannon. He says, and I'm basically strong enough to prove it, so I try and keep the peace in a lawless town, do what I can.
Man, I really shouldn't be thinking that the wings are really cool, but they kind of are.
Aurelia is just kind of like, oh man, yeah.
I want wings. God damn it.
So
Well, if we ever need to sneak into the cult, we'll let you volunteer and do it that way.
Just call me Slinger.
So, Slinger, what do you know about these? Are these lizard attacks really a normal thing?
Well, they've increased recently, but yeah, there's always been a fire gecko nest nearby. Although you taking out their alpha will probably keep them quiet for a while.
Do you know where they come from, or what the deal with that is?
There's a whole network of caves down somewhere south. It's been a while since I last scouted it out.
Do you know? Well,
I've got enough problems, keeping the inside of the town, basically more or less safe without having to worry about the stuff on the outside.
Do you know if there's anyone in town who might know more?
Probably, but no name really jumps to mind at the moment. Probably one of the ones that really enjoy taking on the gecko defense. Maybe that Buffalo Bill. Maybe he knows more.
Bill, I believe I've met Bill. Actually.
Yeah, that's Buffalo Bill that we arm wrestled with, isn't it?
Yeah, he said he left for Skyfall and came back just this morning, actually. But anyway,
He got a little full of himself over in Skyfall. Convinced everyone he fought back dragons every day.
that's did he call the geckos dragons?
Yep.
Oh my. Well, that's Bill for you. But he would know more about he raises one of his claws and makes the finger quotes gesture. He would know more about the dragons' caves around here.
Alright. So, do you know where the general store is?
Yeah, it's actually it's pretty much smack dab center of town. Go up to the up to the second set of ribs, and just kind of, you'll see it pretty clearly marked. It's the general store.
Thank you very much. Last bunch of guys out front wasn't so nice about telling me where it was.
This sounds not nice.
No, I kind of figured it for.
No, theft and mugging and murder is pretty common, but I've been trying to keep that down.
Well, even so, that sounds terrible.
This is a town for people who want to live as dangerously as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Background noise.
No, I think Codeman's just having comm errors.
No, it's there's someone talking in the background, and it's being noise dropped.
Okay.
So that's what's causing the warbling sound. Anyway, this is a place for ponies who want to live as dangerously as possible, but still want to call a place home.
Is there anything we can do to help while we're here? I mean...
Well, if you're I wouldn't go around broadcasting that very helpful mood.
No, I kind of figured.
But if I think of anything, I'll maybe get in contact. Fact is, not a whole lot of people around here like me all that much, so I wouldn't get too chummy with me if you want to keep a good reputation in town.
Are there any young donkeys around here?
Donkeys. Young? No, we've got an older donkey female around.
Well,
name, I literally can't remember the name, sorry.
Right. Well, I figure I should go talk to my own kind for a bit. Do you know where she hangs about?
Well, there's a machine shop over in the third set of ribs over in the far side of town. The town's basically, made up out of about 3 dragons worth of skeletons, and they're basically 3 major sets of ribs in Ribcage. That's basically how you'll find your way around town.
Right.
Is there a doctor anywhere around? Oh, sorry.
There's actually a couple of medic-like people around, but I don't know if they're all that good, honestly. But I mean, we've had doctors kind of come and go. There was this one guy who thought he was going to come in and basically save the town single-hoofedly, and then he saw the kind of wounds that these people get into every single day, and he just straight up left.
Jeez.
So we don't really have a town doctor, just more of a couple of people who have first aid skills that, and will take a lot of caps for it.
What was their name?
Oh, I don't recall. He wasn't here for more than a couple of days.
Okay. Can you point me in their direction?
There's you hear kind of an explosion from in town, and Slinger just kind of casually looks vaguely in the direction, and he says, "Maybe later."
Shit, what the hell was that?
Well, that was
It wasn't me this time.
I'll have to get back to you on that. And he kind of sets his hat back over his horn and heads back into town.
Funny thing is, there's a time when this would have been my kind of town. Now I just want to get the hell out of here.
Oh, how we have changed.
I'll just be heading over to the machine shop if you need me.
Yeah, whatever. I'm heading to the general store.
Tempered Steel will try and locate Bill.
All right.
I guess Firelight will start looking for one of the medics.
Don't you know we never split the party?
Well, you're in town. It's a bit that restriction's a bit more lax now.
So what's Flotsam doing?
Watson wants to explore in the hopes of finding cultists, actually.
Oh, cool. I'll go with Flotsam then.
Okay, so now there are 2 people staying in the same place.
Wait, where are they going?
It's just going out to sell drugs, so...
Flotsam and Zenkar are apparently off looking for cultists.
Alright then.
Aurelia is going to follow Firelight, and Chica's gonna follow Zenkar.
Oh, shit. Wait, real quick. I was thinking of buying some extra medicine and everything. I have no money.
Ah,
Oh, how much do you need?
How much are you willing to give me?
Well, I've got 310, so I mean I can split that halves with you.
Powder Keg has 908 caps. You want some caps?
Shit, man!
I've got somewhere upward of 1,000.
We really need to start liquidating some of our assets. I'm running out of money.
Yeah,
we keep buying stupid things like
we
booze.
have 38,000 caps in gold and gems stored back in Gold Rush.
Okay.
And 12,000 in equipment.
we keep
How
Yeah, but we have
about-
to go and get that gold. That's the only problem.
How about just give me some money that I can go buy medicine with?
Here, take 300 from me.
Okay. Anything else from anyone?
You can take 300 from me if you like.
Okay. How much money do you have, how much money do you have?
765.
Okay.
I feel so poor.
You're telling
Spend
me!
yours. No.
You
The
now
reason
have
we
more
have
money than
more
I do.
is you spend yours. You spend it on drugs. We don't.
The drugs are important. They help.
What drugs are you buying?
Mostly from Tibbs. Let's see, I've got 2 lots of Party Time Mentols, 1 hit of Buck, 1 hit of Zap, 1 hit of Rage, a healing potion, 2 Radaways, and 1 Rad Safe.
He's got almost the full collection.
I need some dash.
I'm actually not much to talk because I have a dose of Rage, a dose of Buck, and a dose of Dash as well.
Ooh, can I... Ooh, I need
No,
to
you can't have it.
on the collection.
Anyway, so y'all split the party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Powder Keg is going to the general store.
tempered steel. Roll streetwise to see if you can locate Mighty Hide Bill.
Okay, let me see. Okay, it's 1d20. 20 plus 7. 14.
You ask around and you come across a unicorn filly with pigtails, saying, "Oh yeah, I know where Bill is. Yeah, I can lead you over to him."
Well, thank you.
And she leads you down an alley.
Okay, he's going. What kind of alley is she leading him down?
A dark, secluded alley.
Temper's
Oh, dear.
going to stop on the outside of the alley, and he's going to look inside. He's going to look down the alley.
As you look down the alley, the filly turns around, and these 2 buff-looking earth ponies come from behind and try and shove you inside.
Temper still is going to. Can he leap back over them?
What, ninja flip?
No, leap up in the air,
Ninja flip is what you're...
Ninja flip is basically what you're trying to say, Joe.
No, but not without the flip, just leap. Or can he,
Ninja
use
jump,
his-
then.
Ninja.
Yeah.
You're a
Hey,
minotaur, no.
Wall climb the shit out of them.
Hammer time! Hammer time!
Or, yeah, can he swing his hammer around to smack him that way?
Yeah, you can do that. Roll
Okay,
athletics.
he's gonna swing his hammer out in a wide full, like a Link sword swing, but with his hammer.
Just spin around.
Yeah! Yes, like that.
You got a athletics roll for that?
Yeah, okay, yeah. 1d 20 plus 13. And that is a 29.
With a 29, you swing this great hammer around, and the earth ponies who rushed you, these big kind of bulky guys, just end up getting completely bowled over and crash against one of the walls. And the filly, who at this the pigtailed filly who has an evil grin on her face and actually pulled out this little knife out of somewhere, actually looks a little bit kind of shocked.
Tempered Skill's gonna look at her with a very disappointed look, and he's gonna shake his head back and forth no, you don't want to do that.
And she just kind of gulps and just kind of runs off towards the other end of the alley. The earth ponies, once they recover, just kind of scramble away as well.
Well, before they recover, Tempered Steel is going to check them to see if they're holding any secret weapons on them.
Yeah, they had some concealed blades.
Okay, yeah, he's going to shake those earth ponies dry of their weaponry, and then he's going to sit there so that when they wake up, he's holding them out in front of him by their manes.
you just pocket the weapons and just tug them up by their manes, and they just go, ow, 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 ow.
You know, that wasn't a very nice thing of you to do.
One of them goes, it was her fault. We were following her orders.
She's a little girl.
She's a really persuasive little girl.
How persuasive?
She's kind of our boss.
How'd that little girl get to be your boss?
And how can I learn from her?
She practically owns half this town.
Wait, what?
And they just kind of scramble free and try to run away.
No, you have to clonk their heads together and say, "Don't try this again."
You want to do that?
Well, if they're trying to escape, he's going to he'll do that. He'll say, "You guys need to shape up your act," and then do that.
Shape up your act. I think you got your one-liners mixed up there. But yeah, you just kind of clock them both, and they just drop to the ground unconscious.
Then he's going to how many blades did he get out of that?
2.
Okay, yeah, he's going to hold on to those weapons.
The townsfolk who were kind of, because you hadn't gone into the alley, you weren't really kind of concealed. So the townsfolk who were nearby kind of caught a glimpse in that, and a couple of them kind of like cheer and applaud. Just like, oh yeah, great. Woohoo.
Yay, you have free friends.
He's going to go over to those people, and he's going to see if any of them know where to find Buffalo Bill.
Oh, and one of them goes, oh, Bill. Yeah, he's got a place up in the third rib, but he said he was tired, so he's probably going to be asleep right now.
Do you know of any places I might be able to find him later when he's not tired?
Well, there's a bar near his place. He'll probably be there later.
All right. Well, thank you.
No problem.
Wait, do you know how I would find that bar?
There's a big old this doesn't really have a name. It just has this.
Just look for the guy getting thrown out the window. It has
this sign of snake going through a skull, so we just call it the Snake Skull Bar.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you especially for not trying to pull some crate. Wait, do you know, or do you know, and are you willing to tell me anything about that whole crazy girl incident and what they were telling me about her owning half the town?
Oh, those were Golden Crown's goons.
That little girl's golden crown?
Yeah, did you know that she had a... was she covering up her cutie mark this time? And yeah, she was. She looked like a blank flank to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but was she pretty? I mean, would he recognize her again if she didn't do something?
Oh yeah. That you'd be able to recognize her again. And the townsperson you're talking to says, yeah, she just a little while ago she discovered her talent for basically being a crime lord, and she's basically been extorting the hell out of the town ever since.
Wait. Her official talent is crime lord.
Well, I mean, her cutie mark is this kind of crown kind of thing that's kind of stained with blood, I think. So,
there's got to be some other interpretation for that. I just know it. There's got to be some other way to interpret that. I'm going to find out what that is, and I'm going to make that happen.
Well, good luck. I mean, frankly, there's a whole bunch of ponies in town who would have just killed her by now, but she's managed to survive, so good luck.
Well, I'm not going to try and kill her. I'm going to set her on a better path.
and the pony just kind of laughs and walks off.
Your idealism is charming.
Okay.
Your idealism is charming, but it's not going to work.
Paulson's found a new friend.
Zenkarn and Chica and Flotsam, while you're kind of exploring the second rib, you notice that there's a couple of ponies in the cultist robes, kind of out in the street, handing out, going to door, handing out pamphlets, and kind of speaking to anyone who passes by.
Flotsam is going to, by the way, Craggy is just walking with Flotsam at the moment, so that she's not developing neck cramp.
Yeah.
He goes over to one of them and just kind of hovers outside of his sort of personal space and waves. Hi! What you handing out?
Oh, yeah, I'm with the Cult of Tiamat. Have you heard the Gospel of the Dragons yet?
I've heard a bit about it. Could you tell me more? I always like learning about dragons.
Well, it's less about dragons and more about learning, life lessons from the dragons, taking some of those principles to heart.
Oh, cool. Like what?
Just sort of, service and the preservation of knowledge and wealth, basically, tenets of survival and longevity in this post-apocalyptic time we live in. And so I'm just I've been allowed to after much talking with some of the people here, I've been allowed to preach here again.
Why couldn't you for a while?
They kept chasing me out.
Why?
Because they don't really like the cult around here, but I'm trying to change some minds.
Okay, well, they let you back in at least.
Yeah.
Do you know, how come they let you back in?
I don't know, something about me being, like, ridiculously lucky and hard to kill, I think. So they just didn't like keep trying to kill me.
Okay, fair enough, I guess. That's a pretty good talent to have out here in the Wasteland.
I think I've been blessed by Tiamat herself.
Wow. Oh, I'm Flotsam, by the way. This is my friend Zenkarn, and this is my friend.
Hey.
Is Chica in changeling mode, or is she disguised as Golden Dream right now?
As you approach the cultist, she changed over to Golden Dream.
And this is she looks over to check Golden Dream.
Nice to meet you. And then the time seemed to come to a stop as the DM had to think of a name for this guy.
You want me to? Oh, they're all raider names. Damn.
Cookie.
Black Mouse.
Pious
Butts.
Scroll.
Call him Butts.
Call him Pious.
It's a name I could remember.
My name is Cookie Crumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Latent stealing. I like it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
God damn it.
I'm gonna need
So
a
not
minute.
only does he use that pun, he uses it, like, non-ironically.
He doesn't look like really self-aware enough to really think of that joke.
If Rafa introduces himself, I guess I'll sort of nod and I'll be like, nice to meet you. So, quick question. How long has it been since you've been, at headquarters, I guess?
Oh, they sent me on this important mission to spread the gospel to Ribcage, so it's been a few weeks now.
Right.
But I did talk to one of my fellow cultists a bit before I came back in, and they finally let me in, and we had a nice chat.
Huh?
Yeah, we talked about the weather and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Oh. So, how have you, I've been hearing that there've been kind of a little bit of a schism in the Cult of Tiamat, and some people leaving.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't know about that. I'm just trying to do my missionary work.
Does he genuinely seem to be telling the truth there?
Roll perception.
Oh god. Where's Tibbs when you need him?
I know that bitch.
Chica also seems to be kind of scrutinizing him a bit.
Yeah,
I know,
Chica's
but
probably.
don't be surprised me if he's dumb enough not to realize what's going on.
Where are my perception? Okay, I found my perception. It's okay. Everyone can relax. I'm on the top. Oh god, no. I can't even. I can't type. Ignore what I said about being on the job. Zenkarn did better.
It's 21 and 19. You look at this guy, and he seems to be just kind of utterly oblivious. He genuinely believes what he's saying and has no awareness of any of the sort of political drama back at headquarters.
Oh
Which-
boy.
See, now I'm worried that we just messed that up and we're just assuming he's an idiot. On the other hand, he could just be a humongous idiot. God
So
damn it.
how many of them?
Trying to roll that for what? You were trying to roll to get what?
To see if he was lying.
Yeah, basically.
Do you want me to give you a little bit of a boost on that? Or
Sure.
well, is
Don't
it
you have to wait?
or-
Don't you have to actually be there to do that?
No, my
Alright.
talents.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about this before, and basically his metagamer stuff can transcend
Oh, the
proximity.
metagamer stuff. Okay, it's general.
Okay.
The
Nice.
metagamer stuff can kind of has kind of infinite reach.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, which kind of fits flavor, but
If you want.
Here. How about I'll let Flotsam re-roll.
Okay.
you're not gonna give her one of your
Well, I'm
one of
gonna-
your
I'm gonna-
like
I'm gonna-
toys.
Well, I'm saving. I have something particularly in mind for the 20 if I can get to it.
Okay.
If
but-
you're willing to give me a reroll, I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what that gets you. I've still
Let
got.
me
And
just-
then re-roll perception because y'all are paranoid apparently.
Sorry.
I don't
Uh,
trust you, Spud, and you
I-
know
I'm-
why.
I
I'm
know.
not gonna. I genuinely believe he's probably at face value, but I'm not going to turn down a free reroll. Falling with style as well, by the way. Oh, good lord, the exact same thing.
Your perception
what,
of
I'm
him
just-
does not change.
You know what? I've got 3 rolls set aside. I'm gonna give you my 15. I'm just gonna give you my 15.
Sure, okay. So 15 plus 11.
26.
I'm guessing the perception doesn't change.
He seems to be utterly at face value.
Yep, okay.
So I shot my
Well,
magic point on that,
so-
right? No.
Eventually, you start tearing away the layers to find that he's
No,
still basically
Actually, that's stupid.
honest.
Roll it at 1. Oh my god, he's the executive.
Don't say it. The chat will make it true.
Ooh, that is an interesting idea, actually. But well, that idea is dead now.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, yes. So, were there other cultists with him,
There.
or is it just him by his lonesome?
There was other cultists in town because he said he was talking to someone, didn't he?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
there actually do seem to be down the street. There's a couple of cultists kind of at a little stall handing out brochures there, but not that they seem to be getting much business there.
So, how many of there are you in Ribcage at the moment?
Right now, I just got a couple of them helping me out, so I think we're up to 3 now.
Oh, cool.
Man,
And
I
are you
hope they survive. It'd be great to get some help around here.
survive? Oh, right. Ribcage. Oh, you guys ought to be careful. Take care of yourselves and, look both ways and always have a weapon on you.
Well,
And-
just between you and me, he kind of looks furtively, like almost exaggeratedly down, both ways, and then he kind of leans in and says, "I think my 2 new friends are really packing heat, so I think they'll be fine."
Flotsam smiles. Oh, that's good. So, are you kind of in charge of doing the spreading the word here in Ribcage?
Yep, I'm the district leader of this branch of the cult.
Cool. So, wow, does that mean you report to one of the really high ups in the cult?
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
it's been,
Not Father Time.
my next report isn't for a while, but they basically trust me to get the job done. I'm on a
You
I'm on a
like
special
these
mission, in
ones-
fact.
Oh, well, is the special mission spreading the word here?
Yeah,
Or...
because Ribcage is one of the most dangerous and least spiritual places in the Maw, and they thought I'd be perfect for it.
I give a glance down at Flotsam when he says that, and I turn to him like,
Sheikah tries to kind of gets behind Zenkarn and quietly face hoofs a little bit.
Yeah, Flotsam shares that glance with Zenkarn.
right. So who did you say you reported to again?
I think it was Father Time.
Right. We've actually, funny story, we've met him.
Oh,
once.
did you now? Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great,
no.
right?
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting meeting, I have to admit. But we didn't really learn a lot about him. Would you be able to tell us anything?
He's kind of a distant sort, yeah. But he's when you get that high up in the cult and start really getting access to, the true knowledge of the dragons, I bet you have a lot to think about.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't be able to steal one of those brochures off you, would I?
Oh, sure, yeah. Just, take as many as you like.
Sweet. I'll grab one. I'll grab one. I'll grab one, 'cause I'm pretty sure Firelight's already got one.
I want one.
I actually do already have one.
Yeah, Firelight did already receive one.
We still need to figure out where they get their printing press from.
I just turn to him like, yeah, my friend's wondering about your printing press.
Oh yeah, we've got a whole suite of them up at the Red Scale Cathedral. It's pretty sweet.
We are getting there. I am getting a printing press and printing
Would they be the printing presses out of one of the Ministry of Image places around the mall?
Oh yeah. They went through those a while back, I think. But I mean, I don't know for sure. I just assume that makes logical sense, right?
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
no, considering
I need to get back to my route, so I will bid you three a good day, and I'll probably see you later, right?
Yeah.
I mean, assuming you
Good
don't
luck.
get killed. I mean,
Oh, we'll probably be okay. You take care, though.
All right,
Don't
you
die.
too.
We've got Philly to protect us. We'll be fine.
Lots and beans.
All right. I gotta get through the rest of these tangents before time's up.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Firelight and Aurelia are looking for a medic.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll streetwise?
Yeah, roll streetwise.
Okay. Hopefully this doesn't completely suck. 18! So, considering I only have a +7.
Yeah, and with Aurelia by your side, being kind of utterly unique dragoness at your side, you kind of seem to have a certain level of clout that a lot of the shiftier looking ponies seem to give you a wider berth than normal. And you're able to find somewhat competent directions leading you towards someone they call a chemist over in the first rib.
Wait, he's a chemist?
He calls himself the chemist, is what they said.
Ah, okay.
So he's like their local version of Javolt.
More like local version of Tibbs. So I'm betting that he doesn't just sell medicine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and guess he's probably not one of the... Well, no. Guys, we know. He's not on the up and up. He's totally a drug salesman. He's probably gonna get pissed at Tibbs for hinging on his territory even.
So, yeah, and when he starts clarifying about, the chemist, the townsperson you're talking to, his face kind of droops and he says, well, if you don't want to go talk to him, there's one other person.
Okay, who's that?
There's a mayor who runs the, there's this bar up in the third rib. What is it? There's a sign. It has a snake in the skull. So we don't know if it really has a name, but the mayor there who runs that place, she knows some first aid, and so she kind of offers some doctor services.
What's her name?
I don't know. Everyone just calls her boss for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. Might pay her a visit at least. Any directions and stuff to... They already gave me directions to where the chemist was, right?
Yeah, you can get directions to either of those places.
Okay. Alright. Thank you. I don't think I have any other questions and stuff.
Alright, thanks. And, be careful around here. And
I know.
Aurelia just kind of pats her backpack and says, don't worry, I got him covered.
Hey, I can watch myself too.
Well, I mean, between the two of us, we can breathe enough fire to practically burn this place down, so, hey.
Touche.
And the townsperson kind of grimaces a little at that and says, oh, okay then, have a good day. Javolt. Just kind of by stroke of luck, you don't even need to roll streetwise, you find the machine shop pretty easily.
Luck, he calls it.
Or maybe it's fate, who knows?
Right, so, Javolt sort of pokes his head in, looks around.
The store is kind of quiet, but you hear some shuffling around in one of the back rooms.
Yeah, Javolt is going to poke his head around the door of that room that's making noise.
your various cybernetics kind of clank around, and you hear behind the back room door. She says, you hear a female voice say, "All right, I'll be out in a second. Hold on." You hear some metal clinking, and then the door opens, and you see a female donkey on the other side, and she just kind of stares at you.
I kind of stare back.
She, definitely seems to, like, just from appearance alone, she definitely seems to share some traits with you. And she just kind of says, "Javolt?"
Yes, it's me, yes.
And she punches you in the face.
Okay, fair warning. I technically have amnesia, so I don't know whether or not
And
I
another
deserve
punch
that.
to the face.
Every time.
Good thing he's used to it by now.
Get out of my store. Get out of my store.
First of all, which one are you? I still can't quite remember. You're Raven or Jenny?
I'm
still
Raven. Jenny
yes.
died because of you.
I'm not sure she's dead, actually.
She's dead, Javolt.
Did you ever find the body?
Yes.
Oh.
And I made sure it got a proper burial.
Oh.
Why are you here, Javolt?
Honestly, I was looking for her. I thought she was here.
It's just me.
Right.
Amnesia, huh? That's your excuse?
It's the only one I have, really.
She just shakes her head and says, "Go."
Are you sure I can't help?
No, Javolt, I don't think I want any of your help.
He sort of backs out of the machine shop.
And once you're outside, she just slams the door in front of you.
Right. He sort of clears his throat and he looks down the road and he says, And what? I don't know. He's just...
You just stand there for a while?
Yep.
In silence? Okay. That's all I needed to know. Alright. Finally, Powder Keg, you managed to follow the sheriff's directions to the general store in the second rib.
Alright then. So, Powder Keg goes into the general store.
And the door kind of opens in, there's a little bell that clinks, and you find Blinky behind the sort of more stone counter, kind of behind this polished stone instead of metal and wood.
Howdy there.
Powder Keg.
Hey,
Good to
that's
see
me.
you.
Good to see you too. Can't say the same about this town, but
It's an interesting town.
that's for sure.
Did you have trouble making your way inside?
Nope.
Okay. She steps around the counter, goes to the door, flips the open sign to closed, and then gives you a great big kiss.
Powder Keg hugs her and kisses her back. I missed you.
I missed you too. I hear you accomplished something interesting.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how that worked out, but it worked. I guess that's all there is to it. I'm just glad that, I'm glad things didn't go to hell.
Although I get the feeling we're entering the final stretch now.
Yeah. Can't be too much longer till the final conflict.
She kind of hugs you close and says, "I know I don't show much, but however long it takes, I'll be here for you.
That's why I love you.
Because I'm here.
'Cause you're always here.
Want to know why I like you?"
Why?
She kind of nuzzles into you. Because you're interesting.
Oh,
And you're doing interesting things.
that's probably the only time I've heard that phrase used on me in a sweet context.
It happens.
I suppose so.
So, do you want to catch up?
Yeah. Let's, catch up.
And fortunately, like the shop in Skyfall, there are living quarters, not above, but sort of in kind of a suite in the back, and she leads you back there.
Excellent. And the rest of this meeting is very sexy and very off-screen.
Yep, basically.
It's one way of putting it.
Oh man.
And on that despite everything, hopefully somewhat positive note, I think I'm going to call tonight's session.
Woo!
And before we wrap things up,
I don't get to do a whole.
oh,
I don't get to do a whole segment on selling drugs.
oh,
I'm
yeah, okay,
kidding,
fine.
I'm
Tibbs,
kidding.
do you sell drugs?
Just
Tibbs, do you want to sell drugs?
Tibbs sells drugs.
Tibbs sell. Okay,
It was
okay. You sell drugs.
it was-
The end.
He was very illegal.
It was very illegal and very off screen.
Kids, are you selling drugs?
End off-screen reference to past joke made. Take a drink.
Oh no.
I am almost done
You
with my
guys
second bottle.
This drinking game you guys are inventing. You guys are making terrible rules because they happen all the time.
That's
Yeah,
the idea.
You guys are incorporating my avoidance of combat, very off-screen
There's
jokes.
one that's like referencing something outside the game. Yeah, because that never happens, right?
That happens at least 3 times a session, and
That's
that's
3
being
times an
low.
hour. Are you kidding me?
It's a low estimate.
3 times a scene.
Okay, well, I mean, feel free to edit it and fix it up.
We're not making an official Hall of Dragons drinking game. That's
We
never
got turned
happened.
Oh no, this isn't official in no way. And to be fair, we've only pretty much been doing it every time it's happened for the first time for the session.
Anyway, before we wrap things up, I just want to say again, it's been a year since we started this thing.
Woo!
And it's been, I mean, for a no-budget sort of tabletop podcast thingamabob in a niche interest group, this has exceeded all of my expectations, my wildest expectations. And I guess I just want to thank you guys for playing, and then all of you for listening and watching in the live stream, and just basically just being a participant and just giving us feedback and telling us that you like what we're doing here, because if we didn't have that, there'd probably be a point where we're like, maybe this isn't worth a while, and we just give up or something.
I'm glad we didn't give up.
This has been great. It's been a lot of fun,
I mean,
Yes.
and
tabletop's fun to play, but it's always a question of whether it's fun to watch, and I appreciate that you guys seem to think so.
Yeah, I'm so glad we've got our listeners and our streamy chat people. They're so awesome.
And there seem to be a few, because every time I upload, the stats on Libsyn aren't terribly extensive, but seem to
Also,
have upwards of 50 or so, and we get a bunch of downloads every time I upload something. So
also, I just came to a really horrible realization.
Huh?
I'm leaving in mid-June to go somewhere with no internet again.
yeah, so we have to do that whole song and dance again. So
But this
Unless
time
if-
you not turn Ribcage.
Right.
Unless
No, you-
miraculously and stuff that we somehow end the campaign before June, but I doubt that's gonna happen.
it seems slightly unlikely, unfortunately, because this has been going on for a while, and will probably keep on going for a while.
So as long as you,
Campaign! Woo!
But still be happy to have you for as long as we can have you, Codeman.
Yeah.
Just so you all know, Javolt is still going to be sitting there in the next session. Somebody's going to have to go find him.
That's
Yep,
that's
that's
fine.
fair.
We'll pick that up where we left
Yeah,
off.
we can talk about that stuff after we've officially concluded things, right?
Can we say thank you to Spud for running it for this long?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh my
thank
god,
you for
yes.
putting up
Yeah,
with our
thank
shit
you.
for so long.
Thank you for
for
being
he is a jolly good fellow.
for
he
being a
is jolly
super
good fellow.
special, awesome DM.
Thanks.
I
guys.
still wish we had someone who was patient enough to go through and make a size compilation of all of Spud's greatest size.
Really, just watch me one episode and you'll have your compilation. Really.
No, but in all seriousness, Bud, thank you for running it for as long as you have. Thank you for, I guess, speaking for all of us on this one. Thank you for letting us in.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
Mhm.
you.
And thank you for not just murdering us all whenever we do
Yeah.
something incredibly
I'm
infuriating.
a big old softy. I don't think I'd actually murder you all.
And thank
Also-
you for indulging us with the NPCs and
So many NPCs.
And it's
I had to
always
make like
wants to
5 up
adopt them.
just this session.
And now Cookie Crumbles is a thing.
Which, by the way, you are incredibly good at making NPCs. Like,
you
off the
really
top
are.
of your
I've
head.
had to get better over the course of this campaign.
Because
You
every
were-
time you make a throwaway NPC, we want more detail about them. Every time.
There's your sigh.
Nice.
it's got to the point where I can't tell what NPCs are made up on the fly and what NPCs have their personalities and names names, okay, fine. That takes a minute to think up.
Here's a hint. It's the ones you pay very little attention to.
Yeah. It's, the ones he makes up on the fly are always the ones we take. Because here's the reason. The ones he makes up on the fly always have some sort of little gimmick or little quirk. Because, when you want to make a character on the fly, you give them some kind of quirk or gimmick because it's instantly characterizes them.
There's an idea involved. Yeah.
It gives them an idea. The problem is that we as a group love quirky and gimmicky characters, so the instant we see one with a quirk, we're like, we want that guy. We need that guy.
Well, I mean, I've also got to populate these towns with some people anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up using a lot of the stock townsperson in this session too, but
I'm assuming Golden Crown wasn't made up on the fly though.
She was.
I really like Golden Crown.
That's fantastic. I honestly
definitely my favorite.
I mean,
NPC by far.
I knew that at that rate someone was going to get mugged because that was just the culture of the town, but I didn't know like under what circumstances or under what culture. And Golden Crown just kind of like the idea popped in my head. Is like, yeah, let's just shoot off in that direction and see what happens.
Oh, great!
I wish Powder would have been the one to have been tried to get mugged. He would have been walking like a good distance behind her, looking around. And the moment you said alleyway, Powder Keg would have just thrown a grenade in after her and kept walking.
I'm really glad it was tempered steel, though.
We would have just walked down the alley to see what would have happened.
I'm really glad it was tempered steel, though.
I'm really glad too. Jeez.
I was glad. I liked how Tempered Steel played that. Hammer time.
Oh yeah, he would have. Well, yeah, Powder Keg would have thrown a grenade down the alley and said, I'm not a fucking idiot, kid."
Just
double points if someone mugged you from behind while you were doing that.
Anyway, let's.
I was expecting there to be muggers in the alleyway.
Let's sign off.
This has been Fallout is Dragons.
Join us next week when we explore the town of Ribcage and meet a ton of assholes.